It is 6 o'clock. Good morning. Live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Hump Day. I'm Justin Hawkins. Yesterday, the Titans made a flurry of roster moves, placing outside linebacker Allie Gay on injured reserve, signing linebacker Truman Jones and cornerback Micah Robinson to the active roster, while signing cornerback Keeman Hall and wide receiver Hal Presley III to the practice squad. And then they also released linebacker O'Shawn Mathis from the practice squad. In other NFL news, the Patriots made a couple trades yesterday, sending safety Kyle Duggar and a 2026 7th-round pick to the Steelers for a 2026 6th-round pick. They also traded defensive end Keon White and a 2026 7th-round pick to the 49ers for a 2026 6th-round draft pick. And in baseball, the World Series is all tied up at 2 games apiece as the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-2 in L.A. Game 5 tonight at Dodger Stadium in L.A. with first pitch at 7 o'clock on Fox. And the Nashville Predators' 5-game homestand came to an end last night as they fall 5-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Preds went 2-3 in that span, falling to 4-5-2 on the season with 10 points. They are back on the ice in Philadelphia tomorrow night, taking on the Flyers with a 6 o'clock puck drop. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Off and running, kicking off your Wednesday morning. Welcome in. Good morning. This is Ramon and Will at 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Scooters is locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. We've got NFL first half superlatives. Biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, who's ascending, who's descending. We've got keys from Ramon Foster, Vol Network analyst on Tennessee versus Oklahoma. Tyler McComas, our resident Oklahoma expert, will join us at 8:20, previewing Vols and Sooners. Plus, of course, on a Wednesday morning, Rip Bryan at 9 a.m. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. How we doing? Good morning.
Good. Good morning. Wet is how we're doing this morning, man. Y'all be safe on the road. A car just spun out literally in front of me as I was on my way to work. So y'all slow down, be cautious in this rain, and when you're going to get it all day, so don't even try to rush. That's what I would tell people this morning. But
welcome to colder weather in Music City.
What you say, you don't get cold weather. You get rain.
Yes, you do.
You get rain.
Yes, you absolutely do.
But we're good, though, man. Watched a good bit of the baseball game last night, too. I've not conditioned myself to want to absolutely need Maction football right now.
Well, you're in luck.
I know.
Because there's Fun Belt on weekdays, too. The Dukes of James Madison with a big win over the Texas State Bobcats last night. If you weren't locked in on it, I'm afraid you just don't love college football.
It's that simple right there,
yeah,
right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's that simple. Fully understood. It was like 2 games on last night, too.
The Fun Belt was giving us a doubleheader.
The Fun Belt? Is that like a...
it's an endearing term towards Sun Belt football.
Oh, I thought it was like they had like a traditional game that they were playing, like a name game.
The Sun Belt is the Fun Belt.
It's the Maction. It's
the nickname like Maction, but for the Sun Belt.
All right, I got you. Did not understand that one, didn't know it, but now I may tune into it, Will. It depends.
We are closer, though, to what would be for half of my relationship a great thing, and for me, not as great of a thing.
Why?
JMU getting the win last night, 52-20. James Madison is 7-1, 5-0 in the Fun Belt, and their only loss this season is to Louisville. Them and Miami have that in common. There is a very non-zero chance that the Dukes of James Madison University, where my lovely fiance Peyton is an alumna. Yes, we'll talk more about the pronunciation of alumna and the correct usage of that, because that's one of my pet peeves. I digress. I regress. Say that jokingly. They could make the playoff. And Peyton will always be like, it'd just be so fun if our teams played. Like, yeah, because you have nothing to lose.
No.
I have everything to lose.
Nothing to lose.
You would be there saying, I hope both teams just have fun. I would have to be there saying very, very dark and mean things about your team, and I don't want to have to do that. But if they make me, I'm going to have to do that.
No, we will do that, okay? I'm sorry.
Because I get stressed on game days, as she knows. Anyway.
I'm telling you, I will help you trash talk her if we end up playing her school at any kind of capacity. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get to that point.
Oh, no, I do.
But it very well might.
I want to see the other side of you in these moments, man. I want to see you either choose love or loyalty on this one.
Yes. Yes.
That is something. I see those. I do see those license plates, house divided ones.
Mm-hmm.
The Tennessee, Alabama. I've seen Alabama, Auburn. I've seen Tennessee, Vanderbilt here in this state, man.
Spicy.
And I'm just thinking to myself, like, do you have like running bets yearly? If the Vanderbilt fan wins against the Tennessee fan, what happens? If Auburn versus Alabama,
great question.
If Auburn wins against Alabama, like, does the husband or wife cook depending on these type of bets?
Because you sleeps on the couch.
Sleeps on the couch?
Sure.
See, why
Why not?
That should be a non-negotiable situation right there.
Yeah,
like sleeping on the couch, like that just breaks all types of codes.
What if you have a nice couch? Sometimes it's nice.
Sometimes for a nap.
Can't hide it, can he?
He can't
hide the money.
He can't hide it. Hawk out here, man, with a king size pull out on his couch. His feet dangle when he sits down because the couch is so big out here. Hawk, tell us what kind of couch you got. And I know it ain't no futon.
No, it's an old like microfiber fabric.
See,
kind of
those
thing.
can be
I
the
don't
most
know.
comfortable sometimes,
can.
too.
Yeah, but it's old.
Okay.
So.
That's how you know you've got a good group text or
A long
friend group.
Friday night.
Is anytime you talk about anything nice that you have, their first response is just like, can't hide it. Can't hide it. That's crazy. That's how you know you've got a good group of friends.
My brother-in-law does it to me every single time. And I'm just like, why are you this way? He's the worst at doing that, man.
I love it.
He went out and got a new vehicle recently, and I had just got mine. He talked more about mine than I did his. I'm like, yours is like a month newer than what I got going on right here. But he's that way. Absolutely hate that guy and love him at the same time.
Titans making a flurry of roster moves yesterday, as you heard from Justin at the top of the show. Titans also placing Ollie Gay on injured reserve. He picked up a knee injury in Sunday's game in Indianapolis. A couple of practice squatters as the roster churn continues there. And on the active roster, corner Micah Robinson and edge rusher Truman Jones. Jones from New England. Entered the NFL as an undrafted free agent with the Chiefs at 23, played college at Harvard, and was named Ivy League Player of the Year, Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year at Harvard. Sure. Was an offseason award winner in New England after joining the team a year ago.
Nice.
So once again, we have an offseason award winner from a Mike Vrabel offseason program back in Nashville.
I'm being honest.
The more things change, Ramon, the more they stay the same.
I didn't mean to come in. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen to me, and I'm laughing right now. But Will said this gentleman's name is Truman.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself.
There's something wrong with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he needs to be a third, a fourth, or fifth because in the year of 2002, I'm sure is when Truman was born. Why are your parents naming you Truman? This isn't the 1920s, man. I'm trying to figure out why. And then Truman fits every stereotype that you could ever have for a person named Truman. What school did he go to, Will?
Harvard.
He went to Harvard.
He went to Harvard, that's right.
That brother's got a bright future ahead of him. I don't know why he's playing football right now. Truman went to Harvard, okay? Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year at Harvard. Is that only at Harvard? Yeah. The Ivy League, he won at Harvard. But he's also an off-season award winner. This is Dudley Do-Right if I've ever seen it in my life.
Dudley Do-Right, okay.
That guy doesn't have.
And Truman Jones woke up in his new city just minding his own business.
Serious.
And a guy named Ramon on the radio decided to take a crowbar to his kneecaps.
A black guy named Ramon is talking about Truman. Yes, I am. I feel like because of that, I have the right to call out these type of situations. Truman in 2025, that guy should be running for president, is what I'm telling you, man.
Maybe he could. He went to Harvard.
That's why he's wasting his time with us.
After his time in the NFL, he could go pro in something other than sports.
You know what I say about these types of names? If you have these types of names, you need to be a menace on the football field. if I don't get the first report from Jimmy White or Buck Rising or one of our friends in this media world speaking about how much of a menace Truman is, he's wasted his talents and need to go and to law school at this point. I just don't get that name. But you know what? I'm gonna root for this young man. But he's played 11 snaps on special teams.
There you go.
There it is.
Roster churn continues. It's going to continue also through the entire season. Of course, Titans are looking for help. Without Ali Gay, they had a need, and there you go. Truman Jones.
How did Ali Gay hurt his knee?
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I just know that it's a hurt knee. So if Truman Jones has a sack this weekend or just at all for the Tennessee Titans, welcome to the Truman Show. Got him.
Truman. That's all I'm saying.
Welcome to the
man.
Truman Show. First time he gets a sack. Taylor Zarzer, I'm here. I'm helping. It's early in the morning, but good ideas happen before 7 a.m. every now and then.
I'll never forget Truman.
615-737-1045 is our number. We stream the show live for you on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch from the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. NFL first half superlatives, catching you up on headlines around the league, surprises, and disappointments next. Wednesday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, at Ramon and Will on Twitter. That much closer, the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel, Ramon, to 20,000 subscribers.
Oh, y'all.
We have eclipsed 18,000. The goal is 20,000 by the end of the football season, and it is very well within our reach. In the last 28 days, Ramon, nearly 500 of you have subscribed to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. If you ever are just driving around, you're like, I wonder what these guys look like. Wonder, like, how ugly is Will?
What?
104.5 The Zone TV is where you can follow us on YouTube. Please subscribe.
Don't do that to yourself.
It helps our family, as Mike Keith says.
Yes, it does help our families. Don't do that to yourself, Will.
Well, I'm not doing it to myself. The hypothetical person in my head is.
Okay.
I think I'm a solid, like 6.5 to 7 out of 10 on a good day.
I think I'm a 10. Just want to throw that out there.
Let's go to the phones before we get into some NFL first half superlatives. Chad is in Hendersonville to lead us off. What's up?
Hey, guys. Good stuff. I got an idea that could stir up some interest in the Tennessee Titans immediately. There's a basketball player named Taco Bell, who's 7'7" tall, who just got released in the NBA. Mm-hmm. There's another guy named Rocco Baranovich that just got released. He's 7'6". I want to sign these two guys today. I'm putting them on my special block the field goal kick. Now, we're talking 7'6". We're talking a reach of close to 12 feet. Both these guys can, if they can get off the ground, we're getting up 13-plus foot in the air, create excitement. We're going to block kicks.
Okay.
And the way that they're kicking these balls these days, they're, with the live football, they're kicking it low. Mm-hmm. So I want to get the analytics. I want our special teams coach out there with the tape measure. I want the analytics to know where that ball's going. Mm-hmm. We're going to block kicks. And we're going to create some kind of Savannah banana thing going on. Not the worst idea I've ever heard. Your thoughts?
Chad,
thank you, Chad.
You put Taco and Truman on the same team together? It's exciting.
Might be cooking.
It might be cooking.
You were thinking of Taco Fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Taco Bell.
I don't know, but I heard the bell from here, though.
I heard the bell. That was a terrible
You've got
bell.
so many sound effects back there. Couldn't you just played a real bell?
I really tried to find one.
Nope.
There's nothing that compares to the Taco Bell bell.
That bell was horrendous.
That bell was a 4 out of 10.
That was you need to be put in time out. My wife is up early listening.
Really?
This morning. You gave yourself a 6 or 7. 6, 7. I said, I'm a 10. She just simply texted me, you are. Girl, what you want?
Love that for you.
You can have whatever you like.
I'm very surprised Peyton hasn't already texted me also, because I know she was listening to the last segment. Saying, hush, stop that. You're a 10. We're both very lucky.
6, 7.
Yeah, I'm not even. Look, that's how I know that my generation is no longer the youngest one. The fact that I couldn't even begin to tell you what that means or why that is a part of our nomenclature in the year of our Lord 2025.
No idea.
Is that how annoying my generation sounded when we were in high school?
Yes.
Were we? Because I really think that Gen Z or whatever the heck we're calling these people, and I do mean these people,
these young
we were not this annoying.
No,
we were not when we were making D's nuts jokes and dabbing left and right. Surely we did not sound this annoying.
No, I don't think so, because everybody contributed to it. I was a grown man doing. Hey, guess what D said?
Yeah, guess what came in the mail today? And then you respond, obviously, with D's nuts.
Yes, Will.
Yeah, like I don't think that. Like I don't consider myself a part of either of. I don't consider myself a part of Gen Z,
right?
Because technically, so I was born in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
I am what you would call a Z-lennial, because I feel like I have the maturity of a millennial.
I agree with you there.
Again, I was raised with siblings that are 12 and 10 years older than me. Yet why am I saying I'm mature after making a D's nuts joke in the last 120 seconds of this radio program? But I also feel like I know how to use an iPhone and switch to the right HDMI. So I'm Gen Z at the same time as well. It's a very low bar. I'm exaggerating a bit for the story's sake, but.
No, I don't think we were this bad.
No, we really weren't.
Legitimately, we were not that bad. Even when we shoot, I don't even know what this game is called. when you shoot the finger
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
like
look down
you make
into it.
the three.
It's just got him. You smack the back of the neck.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
even that wasn't
was high
like
school.
this
It made you
annoying.
look.
Yeah, it's the made you look. Yeah, made you look. Like,
Whatever
it's
it is.
that. We never had a name for it and understood.
No, we would call it a rip.
A rip.
Like, oh, that's a rip.
We call it a rub.
We would do it like this too.
Yeah.
like an Italian person making pasta, like the hand signal, like the making the pasta.
I never knew the
we
name.
would do that, and if you looked at that, then you got slapped in the back of the neck. They'd be like, "Oh, that's a rip."
It got so bad.
That was
with
a very
us.
niche thing in Brentwood, Tennessee. So
No, we did the
Brentwood
same
Bubble
thing.
was doing its own thing as always.
We were smacking the back of the neck so bad that like teachers used to get us. Like,
Yeah.
we used to go to like ISS for that.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, no, it got to a point where you just like smack
that was a good one.
back and hold your neck down and you can't flinch.
Okay.
That's when it went too far right there. So we were annoying. I will say we were annoying at a certain point. But nobody can even explain to me. Nobody what does 6 or 7 mean.
Yeah,
It's from a song.
No, 6'7" by Lil Wayne.
I know
No.
factually where it came from. No one can really explain to me what it means. I don't understand why. Why does it matter?
It's not from 6'7". It's from some other song.
It's
but
a
says
LaMelo
it in-
Ball or D'Angelo,
Yeah.
whoever
Is
the
it?
rapper
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Well, I saw the best version of it was on South Park. I enjoyed that episode, by the way.
Why did you emphasize the park part of it? South Park. I've never
I
heard
didn't
anyone say
say it that
South
hard,
Park.
Will. I did
South
not-
Park.
I did not say the P
you
that
put the
hard.
emphasis on the wrong syllable.
No, I
It's
didn't.
not, I'm going to go watch South Park tonight.
It is
Speaking
tonight.
of iambic pentameter, like you're freaking William Shakespeare.
So it was explained to me. I went on Facebook one day to see if I could figure
No,
out.
that's not the place to go to find out what trends are. Is Facebook.
I'm just telling
But keep on. I want to hear where
You're
this
on
goes
TikTok
now.
now. You know better.
I am on TikTok now. Let me tell you about the 6'7". So it goes down to the periodic table. The periodic table has the element on it, and I guess the letter that it goes to, or the element that it goes to, is like a 6 or 6'7". But that element is HO, like the garden tool. So if you call it, this is what Facebook said.
HO like the garden tool.
Look up
Thank you
the periodic table.
for adding that proper context.
I don't want to say 'cause I don't know what I can get away with on this show. I didn't even know we can say D's nuts, okay? But we're here.
Now you know.
We're here, okay?
This show's going to be a little bit different now that you do know that, but that's okay. Caller calls in and makes Ramon Foster mad. You know what you're going to respond
When's
with.
the last time you been to D?
Yeah.
But I don't know what 6'7" mean. It said it was calling somebody a HO. Is that
See,
true?
going to, I genuinely, I couldn't tell. You could have made up anything, and I would have been like, yeah, that sounds about right. You going to Facebook to find out what high schoolers are talking about, that is like going to Texas to have Mexican food. You're going to get there eventually.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get the right source eventually if you dig hard enough. I'm just going to go to Mexico. I'm just going to go to TikTok. I'm just going to actually go straight to the source. I'm not going to go to what boomers, respectfully. We love our friends on Facebook Live, 1045 The Zone TV. Like and subscribe. You're getting like 3 translations of what the trends actually are if you go on Facebook.
See, well, that's
You're going to find out what the older generation has to say about trends.
Hey, I'm just like the old Oklahoma State coach, though. I'm 40. I'm a man. Okay, I'm actually 39, so I have to
You'll
go
be
to
40 soon?
Facebook now. It's those are the rules.
You don't
right
have
there.
to.
I don't have to.
All right.
Well, look, they were talking about it. As somebody said they was going to beat their kids to death because they've been calling them a 6'7".
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, and that's the reason I thought it was HO.
Oh, geez.
Cooked.
They cooked. Either way, it was phenomenal. It was cool to me, though.
And
I
good
enjoyed
news,
it.
I found the bell.
Okay. Thank you.
It's too late, Hawk. The joke was done.
No.
The joke was over with at that point, Hawk. We gotta be comfortable calling each other out in these moments right here. Your bell was kind of weak, and this one made it even weaker, Hawk.
HO.
6'7".
In the halfway point of the NFL season, there are surprises, there are disappointments, there are teams that are peaking at the right time, and there are certainly teams that have peaked. Ramon, who's the biggest surprise of the season, and why is it Indy?
It's Indy.
It has to be the
Yes,
Colts.
Indy.
There's no other answer to who the biggest surprise of the NFL season.
Them and what Baltimore is, well, because of injuries. And I would even throw another team in there, too, Detroit. I did not see Detroit being this, losing both coordinators on the season. They look like they got a high-flying, high-powered offense that's going to stay competitive. They built a culture under Dan Campbell that's allowing them to not only just win, but they're beating people into the ground. Offensively through the air, the offensive line is kicking butt also, and they, to me, On the NFC side of things, them, Philly, Rams is who I take serious at this point. I may be leaving somebody else
the
out.
NFC, yeah.
NFC.
Packers.
Lions, Packers.
Got to throw Packers in there.
Packers. They're still in purgatory to me, I feel like. I don't know what
I'd love to live in that purgatory.
I know, wouldn't you? They smacked the heck out of the Steelers on Sunday Night Football.
I mean, they only have one loss.
Yeah, I know.
They have a tie, too, but
I guess it's the proven element of what they are, too. Considering you had Detroit that was really good. That division last year was top of the top when it comes down to the Minnesota Vikings, them, and the Lions. So it's just questioning me how sustainable it's going to be. But the way they looked on Sunday night against the Steelers, they are definitely top 5 in the league as far as football teams go.
Yeah, I mean, nobody could have seen Daniel Jones having a 109.5 quarterback rating at the end of October coming.
No.
Number 1 in total offense, Indy. Number 1 in scoring offense. Jonathan Taylor, another 153 yards on Sunday. Has 12 rushing touchdowns. 6 of them are against the Tennessee Titans. He is on pace for 26 touchdowns, which would be the most since LaDainian Tomlinson's record of 28 in 06. He's not a legit MVP candidate. I mean, until the NFL proves that non-quarterbacks can win MVP. Like he's the Offensive Player of the Year candidate, which is kind of like the attaboy you get for being really the most valuable player that's not a quarterback in your given conference or in the NFL. But I'm just curious how sustainable this is for Daniel Jones, because we went through it last week. Number 2 quarterback rating in the NFL when pressured.
Mm-hmm.
He is over 100 in his QB rating when under pressure. Surely that can't continue.
Listen, I think it was Blaine and Zach I was listening to yesterday. He said that Saquon Barkley said all he needs is the offensive line and a couple receivers. And he was going to do this good. Said before Saquon left the Giants, that's what he said about him. Now, that's obvious. Most quarterbacks, I'm sure Cam Ward would absolutely love to have that too right now. But he thought highly of him to make that statement out loud to the press about Daniel Jones. He's got exactly that. He's got an offensive line, and he's got wide receivers that are catching the football for him. Did he have this version of him? I don't know if he got on meds. I don't know if he found a way. I say that jokingly, but like I'm serious, like 80, like Adderall. I don't know that. Like that could play a part in his play too, to where his concentration and not going back to the old him and thinking outside of his box. Listen to him. You laugh, but there's a lot of dudes in the NFL that are on Adderall, okay?
I believe it.
But they got to be on the therapeutic use exemption list, though, too. And if you get caught with it in your system or out of your system and they catch it again, you'll be suspended. It's a very tricky list to be on. 6-7.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But what I'm saying is this. Something changed. And maybe it's the coaches believing in him, too. Because that's the thing about
And they
New
definitely
York.
do. Yeah.
I don't know if he had that level of belief because he ended up getting a stereotype early in his career.
It's going to be interesting to see how that continues. And the hope is that Indy puts themselves in the position where they overpay someone based off of one incredible year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to give Indy 2025 if it means that they spend an inordinate amount of money on Daniel Jones and then he reverts back to a pumpkin. That's my hope for Indy, who I pray on their downfall commonly, but we'll see.
Here's the issue, though.
Go ahead.
Their schedule isn't that hard moving forward. Steelers descending. Atlanta Falcons, they should get that one. Kansas City versus Indianapolis will be a good game. I hope they flex that one. It's a 1 o'clock game right now. But they got Houston. I think they win. They beat Jacksonville. Seattle a fight. But they got San Fran, Jaguars, and Houston again. They could only lose probably 2 more games. Maybe is the way I'm looking at them. They'll be the number 1 seed in the AFC side if nothing changes.
Yeah, I mean, right now, they're the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Statistically, record-wise, all of it. I mean, it is the Colts than everyone else. Not words we expected to say in the month of October. Who is the biggest disappointment of the season?
The biggest disappointment? The way it's turning out to me, Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yeah.
The leaders of the AFC North, Pittsburgh Steelers.
It ain't real. The defense can't stop a nosebleed. Offensively, they sputter out of the gate for about the first quarter and a half. Like, the way they are playing is, to me, unstable. There's no real cohesion other than the fact when they catch momentum, they're good. And you're looking at a team right now that's lost 2 in a row, 1 to an AFC North divisional opponent, and then the other one on
Cincinnati.
Sunday, Cincinnati. Joe Flacco on top of that, and then you also have them lose on Sunday Night Football, and not just that, they were winning and absolutely got drugged in the second half because the defense cannot stop a nosebleed. There's absolutely nothing that can convince me that they're going to get it turned around right now because your reputation at this point has been set. As far as the run game, not being able to stop anybody. That, to me, is their biggest issue. Watching Green Bay say, you know what, we're going to punch you in the mouth, and there's nothing you can do about it. And down the field in the secondary, they have injuries coming up. To me, it's in a situation to where the secondary is either giving up big plays in the zone coverage or they're getting DPIs.
It is pretty incredible. And I think people will look at Pittsburgh from the 30,000-foot view and think, oh, they're just the same as they always are. They are using a different formula to get to the same end result. They're 4-3. They have a point differential of 0. They have scored 175. They have given up 175 this year. They're the only division leader with a negative or just neutral point differential this season. But they're doing so in a very different way because typically Pittsburgh is mediocre to, is 20 to 32 in total offense. And then defensively, they'll be solid and just create a bunch of turnovers and a bunch of negative plays because they can get a ton of pressure on the quarterback. Well, this year, they're 30th in total defense and have the number 11 scoring offense of the NFL.
Tough.
I think if you believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the same this year as they always are, you're not really watching the games because they're very different. Arthur Smith is doing a good job with that offense.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers has exceeded my expectations. The wide receiver group has been better than I expected behind DK Metcalf. Roman Wilson had the touchdown over the weekend that is helping. The tight ends look decent. Running backs, like all of it. Like the offense is good enough for Pittsburgh to not only be a playoff team, but maybe make a little bit of noise this year. But defensively, Ramon, what happened?
Can't stop.
That secondary is the worst pass defense of the NFL.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
It's like a college-style defense. Like the way they're responding and making plays. Will they have a breakup here? Absolutely. But guess what happens? A DPI, a holding call, pass interference, or they getting footballs caught on them and weak zone coverage right now. They can't get to the quarterback the way they have. I don't know what it is with TJ and his situation. He has no situation. He's healthy. He's playing, but teams have figured out a way that they're just going to chip and have the quarterback float left instead of letting TJ Watt sack him. That part of it, to me, is also being problematic.
You were watching like the same team on Saturdays and Sundays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am.
A pretty dynamic offense. I mean, Joey Aguilar probably, compared to Aaron Rodgers, is playing better. But still, I mean, marginally, you're watching similar styles of football on Saturdays and Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Which answers are, you go ahead.
I was going to say just 4 sacks on the season right now.
Wow.
We're halfway through this thing.
It's the same as Draymond Jones.
That's what I'm saying.
I think.
Yeah.
Draymond's got 3 in the last 3 games. Draymond's got 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Okay. This got to die in the first hour of this show. Well, that answers our next question of who's already peaked. Pittsburgh.
Them and Jacksonville.
Really? Okay.
Just looking at how Jacksonville, you thought they were going to start off. I think what they are right now was a 4-3 team. They're going to be a 500 style of team, I feel like, in the end. The way they're playing football right now.
Which is a good first season for Liam Cohen, too.
A phenomenal first season for him. That's the way I look at their situation. They may end up being a 500 level team. And the playmakers that they have, I don't know if Trevor Lawrence or Liam Cohen is going to get more out of them. Although, I mean, they could get streaky. Their issue is the back end of this schedule is spicy for them.
Yeah, they play 4 of their next 5 on the road. They go to Vegas and Houston the next 2 weeks. Oh. They host the Chargers after that, which, again, is one of the longest road trips in the NFL. And then they go to Arizona and to Nashville at the end of November. The thing about Jacksonville to me, and I do think you're right, I think they're a prime candidate to have already peaked because turnovers are not predictive. It is hard for them to sustain the amount of turnovers that they have forced and created. They are +8 in turnover differential. They have created 14 turnovers. In their first 5 games, Jacksonville created 14 turnovers. Wow. They have lost their last 2 and have not created a single turnover in either of those games. At home against Seattle and the Los Angeles Rams. So you're looking at a team that when they can force turnovers and get some of those giveaways, they're productive. They turn those into points. But if their defense isn't creating those turnovers, they're a little bit more susceptible to the pass. They're 27th Jacksonville against the pass this season, giving up just over 1,700 yards and 6.5 yards per attempt. So you're right. I think that is a good start to the Liam Cohen era, but ultimately probably not a team that's going to be considered and taken seriously as a contender.
Yeah.
In the conference this year.
New comment just says nothing that they've seen from Travis Hunter impresses him. I personally think Travis Hunter needs to decide.
Really?
I do. I like the show that it is, but I feel like they're holding back the next gear for him, either being a really good wide receiver or a really big cornerback. I think offensively, because Liam Cohen is that type of coach, he needs to focus on having him play 85, 90% of the offense instead of, trying to find a balance of 50-50 or 60-40.
Quickly, who is peaking at the right time in the NFL?
Who's peaking at the right time? I would probably say Will. Let me see.
I've got one for you if you want me to.
Yeah, you go first.
Denver 6-2. Bo Nix starting to play better. They had the coming out party for R.J. Harvey over the weekend. Had his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season on a 40-yard touchdown and then a wildcat sneak. R.J. Harvey, a former high school quarterback, later caught a touchdown pass as well. Bo Nix, 4 touchdown passes in their win over the Dallas Cowboys. I just believe so much in teams like that are so good in the trenches.
Yeah.
And Denver's offensive line and defensive line, as good as anyone at the line of scrimmage, it just was like, hey, Bo Nix, are you gonna get better? Are you still gonna be the dink and dunk guy you were last year, or are you gonna start taking steps forward? And you get a proven commodity like Sean Payton. You start to believe in the development of your players, that who you are in September and the start of October isn't who you are necessarily forever. And Bo Nix is starting to get better. They're 6-2, and I still believe in the Denver Broncos as a Super Bowl contender this year.
That comeback game they had against the New York Giants, where they should have lost.
Giants, you're right.
Giants, where they should have lost that one. But the team that's peaking at the right time, and I think we've seen them firsthand, is New England. New England should have beat Pittsburgh in that third week. Looking at the way their quarterback playing, they got a top 5 offense and defense right now, too. And Drake May is playing lights out.
I'm going to need to see a little bit more from them because their wins don't really impress me.
Here's the thing. It ain't much on their schedule because they got a 4th-place schedule that's going to test them. That's what they got.
They have beaten Miami, Carolina, Buffalo. Definitely give them that one. New Orleans, Tennessee, and Cleveland. They've got one really good win, and then they've just won the games they're supposed to, which you get credit for doing in the NFL.
Yeah.
But they've got to prove a lot more to me for me to take them really that seriously.
The rest of the schedule, though, is not testy at all, considering they already beat Buffalo.
They've got an easy schedule.
Yep, they do.
100%. 615-737-1045, our number. We will get to your phone calls and give you the most specific stat you have ever heard in your life. Coming up next.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
All right, now this is flagrant. Wrapping up hour one.
What it is?
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Now, we just got done talking about how the Steelers have peaked, how things aren't going well. Justin is rubbing it in on Ramon.
You know what? We wrote this all the way to the Super Bowl.
Black and yellow.
Yes.
You know what it is. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. 615-737-1045. I'm told Chase is a teacher.
Come on, Chase.
In Nashville who can help us older people understand what the kids are talking about these days.
How do they say it, Chase?
I'm told you can explain 6'7" to us.
Say it too, Chase. How you say it?
Good morning, gentlemen. The way the kids go is you ask them a question and they go 6'7", just like that. We're the same age, gentlemen. We're the same age. Do you remember when we were in school, the vine that goes, what's 9 plus 10? And
21.
21. It is this generation's version of that. If you ask them a question or if you're trying to get an answer from them, they're going to say 21. But it's 6'7" now. They don't even know what it means, but they do it just because they think it's funny. But there's a trend that's coming that's actually worse. And it might not hit the homes, but it's hitting the schools. And the kids go, ba, 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 bingo, and then they tip their entire desk back with their bodies in it, and it's a domino effect. So one kid will go off, and the next thing you know, it'll be like 20 kids just dropping like flies.
Wow.
Do they have helmets on? I mean,
yeah, it's a wild time to be a teacher, gentlemen.
So what
Chase, you are doing the Lord's work out here.
What does 6'7" actually mean, Chase? Is it the periodic table, like I said, or what?
It's not. The best thing that I can pull from them is that it just kind of means like, all right. You know, that's the best thing. Like, it means absolutely nothing and everything at the same time.
That makes perfect sense.
It is the response for literally everything, and it means nothing.
Okay. Well, thank you, Chase. Appreciate
Chase,
the
that
call.
makes me feel good, man.
Welcome to 2025.
Good stuff.
Know what I would call that?
What?
6'7".
Okay. All right. Yeah. It started in LaMelo. It started with a LaMelo Ball thing on TikTok. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, this generation is called Generation Alpha.
They can't even change a tire. Hell no. They can't get that one. They can't get that one. Somebody else.
They're betas.
No, I don't even want to call them betas. They can't get alpha though. Absolutely
Generation
not.
Alpha refers to people born from 2010 to 2024.
RJ escaped that one. But
Gen Z is 97 to 2012, which I am technically a part of. But again, I'm a Z-Lennial.
Z-Lennial. I'm a millennial.
Apparently, if you're 97 to 2000, you can be a Z-Lennial.
Barely escaped that. 1995.
I'm kind of upset because people made millennials seem like we were bad. They made us seem like we were just.
Well, no, you're just not cool anymore.
Hey, dog.
I'm not talking about you.
That's the.
I don't know when millennials stopped being cool, but
we just need to go and go outside, get this over with. It's hump day. We might as well just fisticuffs.
I'm halfway a part of your generation.
Nah, it's all good. You just told me. I had a text message last night, group chat with my homeboys, and one of them, he put the lyrics of a song in there. It was Project Pat. Just want to throw that out there. Shout out Project. But it was on top of it was like the first of us turning 40 is right around the corner. It's a group of 5 of us. And
you're in the G5.
I'm second in that group. I am a G5. That's G5 son. We going outside.
You're like the Pac 2 of generations.
Yeah. Whoa.
Major League Baseball tweeting out the other day. No, you are very cool. I'm talking more how the kids view you.
We got to arm wrestle.
I'm not a kid.
No, we're arm wrestling on camera after this, just so you know.
That's not going to go well for me. Major League Baseball the other day. Did you see this? Brad Paisley has sung the national anthem now for 4 World Series games.
Yeah.
2017, Game 2 went to 11 innings. 2018, Game 3 went to 18 innings. 2024, Game 1 went to 10 innings. And 2025, Game 3 of the World Series, which happened the other day, 18 innings. Shout out Sarah Wexler with that on Twitter. Shout out Brad Paisley, sending games to extra innings, a World Series.
You hear Mayor?
2-2 series as of last night.
Mayor yesterday said also when he sung the national anthem too, the home team has always won the games too.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
That sounds like the kind of betting analytics that Brent would have to bring to the table.
Saying. It is.
I like it.
It is. If he don't move his car from the parking lot too, I'm gonna ask to drive it. Just
what do you mean?
You know, it looks like a real fast sports car, and I want to just do donuts in it.
Okay.
I just bring that up to him. If he's listening, Mayor, just leave the keys somewhere.
Okay.
If it's a stick shift, I'll figure it out.
2-2 series. Blue Jays beating the Dodgers last night. Shohei Ohtani got the start, and we got a series. It's gonna have to go back to Toronto, which I like.
It was good. I was watching it last night, and I know a lot of money from listening to our friends at 3HL was put on the Dodgers because Shohei was pitching. Shohei, he didn't give it up last night. He did his job. He went through 7 innings before he got out, and they ended up hitting a double on him that went off the mound. It was 2-1.
Vladdy homered off of him, too.
Vladdy got him? I missed that part of it.
He went through 6, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Shane Bieber with the win for Toronto.
They're playing ball. So is this what you want? Do you want the Blue Jays to beat them now?
Oh, yeah. Blue Jays are America's team.
All right, for sure.
Absolutely.
Blue Jays are America's team. I just realized what you said.
Yeah, it's not normal, but that's okay.
We'll accept it. We'll allow it.
Absolutely.
Nice people up there. Also, it's cool seeing Vladdy also been in a situation where he was on that baseball field as a kid.
Him and Bo Bichette both, because Dante Bichette's son and Vlad's son, they were talking about that. Joe Davis, who I think is an awesome broadcaster. He's one of my all-time favorites. Him and Smoltz, I think, are a great booth. Mm-hmm. And them talking about that last night said, like, Vladdy and Bo Bichette bonded over the fact that their dads are elite baseball players themselves, and they're like brothers.
Yeah.
Bo Bichette, a pending free agent who I'd love to be in Atlanta next year.
You always want somebody in Atlanta.
Well, the 5-year window of us winning the World Series is over.
Yeah.
So now I can start being mad again when we lose. I mean, again, like everything's gravy when you win a World Series in 2021. Yeah.
By the way, I saw the intro pictures of Freddie Freeman coming into the MLB. What he is right now?
Oh, yeah, he had a glow up.
He looked like Buzz from Home Alone at first.
It's kind of like Tom Brady. You're not ugly, you're just poor.
You just broke, boy. That's all.
I mean, compared to pro athletes, these guys, the teeth all of a sudden get straighter, the haircuts get a little bit nicer.
The teeth get whiter.
Right. Absolutely right.
Unless you're in hockey, and then you lose your teeth.
Slay's mad at me in the F and Bank chat saying I'm from Nashville and cheering against Mookie. I hope Mookie goes 4 for 4 in every game and the Dodgers lose 10-9. How about that? 615-737-1045. I've got an idea on a Titans player who could get traded that we haven't talked about. And I'll tell you who I'm thinking of coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, an HVAC, or an electrical emergency at all, man. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you or if it'll get fixed, right? Or if somebody's trying to sell you something you don't need. When you call Hiller, though, they're going to fix your problems quickly. And the price you told is the price that you'll actually pay. They have no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years, a family-owned and operated. And their techs, too, very professional, very experienced, and very trustworthy. And the all background and drug screen also. When they're on the way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time. So you're not wasting time waiting around for somebody to show up to your home. The motto is, happy you'll be, or the service is free. Listen, to book like I do, or to simply learn more about Hiller, because I think they are an awesome company and they do good work and they're very prompt and they're very professional, visit happyhiller.com.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
7:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Yesterday, the Titans made a flurry of roster moves, placing outside linebacker Ali Gay on injured reserve, signing linebacker Truman Jones and cornerback Micah Robinson to the active roster, while signing cornerback Keeman Hall and wide receiver Hal Presley III to the practice squad. They also released linebacker O'Shawn Mathis from the practice squad. In other NFL news, the Patriots made a couple trades yesterday, sending safety Kyle Duggar and a 2026 7th-round draft pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 2026 6th-round pick. The Patriots also traded defensive end Keon White and a 2026 7th-round pick to the 49ers for a 2026 6th-round pick. In baseball, the World Series is all tied up at 2 games apiece as the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-2 in L.A. Game 5 tonight at Dodger Stadium once again with first pitch at 7 o'clock on Fox. And the Nashville Predators, their 5-game homestand came to an end last night as they fall 5-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Preds went 2-3 in that span, falling to 4-5-2 with 10 points on the season. They're back on the ice in Philadelphia tomorrow night, taking on the Flyers with a 6 o'clock puck drop. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour 2 on this Wednesday morning edition of Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooter's Coffee, and we're streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch.
Twitch, please.
With the 11-year NFL veteran, Vol for Life, and Vol Network analyst, Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins, our producer. F&M Bank Chat open for your comments and interaction. Wow. So, I'm going to give credit where credit's due.
Talk to us, Will.
For the idea on this conversation, because, look, at this point, when reports come out that everyone not named Jeffrey Simmons and Cam Ward could be moved, well, we're going to talk about some of the veterans, some of the starters of the Tennessee Titans roster, besides just the big 3, right, that Jeremy Fowler said on this show. Roger McCreary has already been traded. Tight end Chikakonkwo. Edge rusher Arden Key. Drew Beatty at Iron City Film does a great job doing film analysis, good NFL draft follow, and good writer on a number of platforms, who has put out some clips of Tyjae Spears. He made the tweet yesterday. I've been extremely impressed by Titans running back Tyjae Spears since his return. Medicals are obviously still a concern, and it's a limited sample size. But I'd be comfortable trading Tony Pollard and handing Spears the keys. In the last 2 games, Tyjae Spears has 14 carries for 81 yards. 41 of them came on a 3rd down run on Sunday in Indianapolis. He has a touchdown. He has 6 catches for 41. Tony Pollard has 17 carries for 62 yards, 7 catches for 52. Ramon Foster, should Tony Pollard be a trade candidate for the Tennessee Titans?
Should he be a trade candidate? I say no. Tajae's had an issue in my opinion of not being able to sustain the long haul of just reps or, carries. It's always been an injury or something pops up. You lose a lot of security if you don't have Tony Pollard. Now, if your plan is to just get as much capital as you can and Tony Pollard's a part of that conversation and it don't matter who's at running back for this squad, all right, yeah, that's a conversation that could be had right there. But I think it goes against all things when we're speaking about the development and the maintenance of what Cam Ward needs to offensively. That's one where I just say relatively cheap labor at this point for what Tony Pollard is. He's already splitting reps. I just don't know if I just don't know if Tajae can handle the workload. Is he good in spots? Yeah. Is he the premier back? No, the year he was supposed to be last year, they brought in Tony. Now, this isn't the same regime either. I'm not sure if Mike Berganzi would have made that move.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's at least worth considering more opportunities for Tajae, even if Pollard is here. Because unfortunately, I don't know how much of a market there's going to be for Tony. And that's not a slight to Tony. That's not a slight to what he's done. It's just more of a statement on that position. You just don't see running backs besides the Christian McCaffrey or Derrick Henry types move to the trade deadline, because the opportunity cost or the margin of difference between giving up draft capital for a feature back and what I could just go find out there available on practice squads, there's not enough of a difference between that quality in terms of who's available to go spend draft capital on it. The Jordan Masons of the world, the Ty Chandlers of the world, to use another Minnesota Vikings option, the Dante Foremans, Dontrell Hilliards back in the day for the Titans. Those are available for teams to just go pick up and put into their lineup at a pinch. It is easier to replace a starting running back than most any other position in the National Football League because there's so many quality running backs out there for cheap. Tony Pollard is a good back. Tony Pollard has done his job in carrying the load and being the focal point of an offense that unfortunately has not been very good the last 2 years. But that still doesn't mean he has a ton of trade value on the open market.
Yeah, no, and the other part, too, as far as bringing in other guys that's not been in the system, Jordan Mims is on practice squad for the Titans right now. If you wanted to look at the situation and say, all right, you got to bring somebody up, Khalil Mullins is on IR.
He is.
Also, the only issue that you have is number one. If we're talking about bringing in another guy, getting rid of Tony Pollard, you also do have to worry about who's going to be the protector in the backfield on those blitz pickups, too. Like
Tajay.
Tajay, but like if
He's done a good
Tajay
job
has
with
an issue, he has. I got to give it to him. He's done a real good job. He understands it and fights to be known as a pass protector too. It's just that if he's out for a series, who are you trusting in those moments that you're bringing in? I look at this one. If you're trying to curate what Cam Ward is, this really takes away from him. If development is still a part of his plan this year.
I think that Tajay Spears deserves an opportunity to try out for RB1.
Who's that again?
Tajay
Spears?
I think you can keep Tony Pollard and not trade him, but change up the division of labor just a little bit. I am ready to see 1A and 1B flipped between those two. And again, that's not a slight to Tony at all. Tony has been an excellent soldier, for lack of a better term, in terms of what he's been asked to do, the resources that's been put around for him to be successful, the offensive line he's had to run behind for the last 2 years. By no way am I saying that Tony Pollard deserves less. But when you look at where this franchise is right now, Ramon, and by understanding his contract, where the Titans have an out at the end of this year, and there is a $2 million dead cap number for the Titans to move on from Tony Pollard, who will be 29 years old in 2026. It is more about, again, we talked about this on yesterday's show. What is the vision for the Tennessee Titans in the short term? Because, yes, you want to go in with plan A of what's it going to take to win the game? All right, let's do that. But the Titans have to understand as a franchise and as an organization, as a front office, as a coaching staff, that evaluating what you have and taking stock and inventory of who can help you in 2026 and beyond is really important. And Tajay Spears being able to audition for that role helps you become a better football team in 2026 and beyond. I expect the Titans to be in the market for a running back next offseason. If Tajay Spears can take over the 1A role for the rest of this year and show you that he can be that feature back with help, well, then maybe you can go bargain hunting and get a guy on a 1 or 2 year deal. Maybe you can keep Tony Pollard. Maybe you don't have to invest major capital in finding a back to help out your quarterback. If Tajay Spears does take that audition and can't stay healthy, doesn't take the steps that you want him to, maybe Tony continues to be in that role because you feel like Tajay's really good 1B. Well, Ramon, we're going to have to add running back to the list of priorities for this team moving forward because, again, you have an opportunity to save money on Tony Pollard and hit that law of diminishing returns at the right spot for a running back that's going to be 29 years old next year. It's not one of the top priorities and needs for the Titans. Moving forward into the offseason, I do think it is something that is going to be on their list, though, to shop for coming up in free agency and the draft.
You know, the issue that I have with this, though, too, is after yesterday, it was my personal opinion. You got to ask the question, who's making this call, right? You mentioned planning for 2026. Well, who's making this call? After yesterday and hearing a little bit of Denard Wilson's comments about, hey, you pretty much screwing me over with the players I don't have, it lets me know the entire staff is probably going.
And he didn't say that word for word.
He didn't. That's me paraphrasing what I think he would say behind closed doors. Who's making that call? Is that Chad making that, hey, we want Tajay right now? Is that Borgonzi asking for that too? And here's the thing. I do think this Front office does have the right to ask for certain players to see what they look like. But that would be cool if this coaching staff is going to be here. You can start planning for that next year too. But Mike McCoy and this entire staff won't be here to actually say, yes, we made the right move to do that.
Right.
And then if you also allow Chad or Mike to pretty much want to put their guys in, that kind of creates a little bit of a slippery slope to me, where you got front office telling the coaches what to do, especially if it works. If it works, who's to say that they don't say to whoever next head coach, hey, put this guy in because I think he's good. Well, you don't coach.
Well,
I coach.
And you're right. That is the tricky part, because you have an interim staff where if you are asking them maybe to sacrifice the betterment of that given Sunday for the organization to learn about who they have in X, Y, or Z young player,
for them,
you're making it harder for that staff to earn jobs at other places. Denard Wilson is trying to be a defensive coordinator wherever he goes next. Denard Wilson is trying to stay on a head coach track. Well, if you take away a lot of Denard Wilson's ingredients to cook a 5-star meal and all of a sudden you're putting out fast food, then high-end restaurants aren't going to want to hire Denard Wilson to be their chef after he leaves here. Which begs another question that I think we need to have. Is it worth retaining Denard Wilson if you hire an offensive head coach and keep some sort of continuity?
It's happened.
It has certainly happened.
I mean, Kraft made Vrabel keep on Josh McDaniels.
A little bit of a different case because they had familiarity from, obviously, Vrabel's last stint in New England.
That's true.
But, yeah, that fair comparison for sure.
But it does, at this point, the way they're pillaging his players, I guess Denard Wilson might have trust issues too. Because he's seen this group right now, whether he was in on these trades or not. He's seen them pluck guys off and say, all right, well, you don't need them. We'll take them and do something else. Now, if they pull Denard to a side and say, hey, Denard, this is our plan.
Yep.
We're going to get better, but this is how we're going to do it, and we want to involve you. I mean, according to Easton Freeze's article, coaches and coordinators got extensions last year, so there's a payout to be had.
There was actually a little bit of a follow-up to that. Paul Gaharski put out a piece last night. There's offset language that when those coaches get new jobs, they won't be owed anything from the Titans.
Okay.
That was there was a little bit more context that came out about that last night. Yeah. That's very normal for owners to do when coaches are going into the final year of their deals to tack on another year with the offset language, kind of like we hear about with James Franklin right now, that you have a duty to mitigate, that if you get another job, then that job salary is subtracted from whatever you're owned by the Titans. Yeah. So the Titans will not very likely owe anyone any money on this staff when they get other jobs.
So
that's not really
when they get other jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's just a slippery slope, just a little bit, unless, to your point, Denard's a part. Having GMs make personnel on-field decisions like that.
Yeah.
That's more Al Davis back in the day type stuff. Like Darius Hayward-Bay said Al Davis would come down on his golf cart to the practice field and have the coaches scrap the entire game plan. And they did it.
Just win, baby.
Too much power.
Just metal, baby. At least in that case.
Metal, yeah.
Coming up, Tennessee plays Oklahoma on Saturday night in Neyland Stadium. We'll get Ramon Foster's take on what the Vols have to do to get a W next. When it comes to ensuring clean air in your home, Lee Company delivers. Hey, it's Will Bowling from our friends at Lee Company. Their award-winning team provides thorough whole-home duct cleaning services. They're going to do so many things for your home, going to just make the quality of living better inside your house. It's going to eliminate dust, debris, and other allergens from your HVAC system. It's meaningful this time of year as the weather gets a little bit cooler. You feel like you got that tickle in the back of your throat. Well, Lee Company can help with that just by cleaning things out, by making sure you got clean air in your home. The result, you're going to get better air quality, enhanced system efficiency. You're going to have peace of mind. Even better, Lee Company also is offering 10% off a whole home duct cleaning for a limited time. So why wait? Go ahead and schedule online at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for their duct cleaning services. Lee Company in business for over 80 years. They can help you with 14 community locations in Middle Tennessee. Again, online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee, and Scooters is locally owned all around Middle Tennessee. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. At Remote Foster, at Will_bowling. So Tennessee and Oklahoma on Saturday night in Knoxville is a playoff elimination game for both teams. Yes?
Yes, I agree.
Tennessee with 2 losses, Oklahoma with 2 losses. Vols still with a trip to the Swamp. A matchup with juggernauts Vanderbilt. Oklahoma with a just murderer's row of teams they still have to play that we'll get to in a minute. They are in desperate need of this game. Where do you begin to evaluate Vols and Sooners on Saturday night, Ramon? What is the key matchup that you think decides this football game?
God, dog, you always ask me one. I always want to give you 2. I'll give you one, and I'll just
start with one, and we'll go from there.
Start with one. Isaiah Satania.
Yes.
Him. It has to start with him.
Okay.
He is their explosion on offense. He's a guy that I feel like emotionally, John Mateer does it a little bit, the quarterback. He does it just a little bit for him, but Satanga, to me, is Satanga, right?
Satania is what I believe it is. I will get a confirmation on that.
I'm emphasizing a G on this one. Satanga, he's a speed guy that can get down the field. He was on the Arkansas team last year that also beat the Vols, so I'm not sure what his numbers were. I was supposed to look that up this morning. But he's on the team that's beat this squad before. He understands how to get down the field. He can get behind your defense, too. His ability to catch and run is super unique. And the other part that he does, too, he's the crap that attracts a lot of flies. So what John Mateer does with a guy like him is his protection is so-so. The offensive line has issues that they have going. They got injury issues, too. But what he will do is this, use Satania. Jeez, I said this so many times.
Okay.
I say it on myself, too.
Yep. Satania, confirmed. That is how you say it. I'm looking at their media guide right now.
What he'll do is get Satania to run off. And if you're playing zone coverage against him and there's a linebacker underneath or nobody close, he'll leak out a receiver or weapon and just dump off the football, sort of like Kentucky did last week, and they'll 15, 20 yards a pop. That's where you have to be cautious. So if you can box in Satania, you got an opportunity to keep this team off you. And he's the momentum. He's the guy that drives them. So it starts and ends with him, and that's problematic depending upon who's available for the Vols this upcoming weekend at cornerback.
Isaiah Satania had his 3rd best game last season against Tennessee. 5 catches for 72 yards last year for the Razorbacks in that 19-14 win over the Vols. Isaiah Satania this season, just under 700 yards total. John Mateer, the quarterback, is not the playmaker that he was pre-injury. Since he had surgery on his throwing hand, he has gone from over 300 yards per game to 191 passing yards per game in the last 3 games. The Oklahoma offense in those 3 games, Ramon, is averaging 311 yards of total offense with 191 yards through the air and 198 on the ground. The running game is improving. They've had 100-yard rushers in back-to-back games. But again, the dynamic of Mateer and his legs is something that Tennessee has to be wary of in this game. Because as you've mentioned before, not just this season, but even against Tennessee's really good defense last year, mobile quarterbacks and QBs that can scramble and get outside the pocket off script, who can kind of neutralize Tennessee's pass rush, which is really good, even though it hasn't been the last 2 games nearly as much. That's been a kryptonite for Tim Banks' defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Ott, the Cal transfer, has not been good. 21 carries for 68 yards in 6 games. We'll talk to Tyler McComas of the ref in Norman coming up in the next hour and get more of a scouting report on them. But if you're looking at one big key, Ramon, of one thing Tennessee's got to do to win this game, what do you think they've got to do besides just stopping Isaiah Satania?
Control the line of scrimmage. Their D-line and front 7, I think, are the heartbeat of that team, too. They got a lot of talent. if you can stop them from being what they are and what to me, the defensive line are, they don't play technique necessarily. They don't hold the point for the linebackers and make plays. Their defensive line is a penetrating, let me go make a play type of team. The way you see Jeffrey Simmons play is the way that team plays. The volunteer defense, they play technique. I'm going to hold my point, and I'm going to let somebody make a play. If it come my way, I'm going to do it myself. Those guys that they have up front are very opportunistic on how they go and try to make plays and embarrass you. There's a whole lot of stunts that they do. You look at them as a unit. Every guy on that team, I think, pretty much is or could be a first-round draft pick, the way their defensive line is. Stone, the young sophomore, is a monster, and I'm not even sure if he's starting right now. He's in the rotation for them, but he's a demon up front.
David Stone.
Yeah, and I think the Vols were tight on him a little bit last year, too, in the recruiting process, but he's proven to be good, man. One of those teams, man, that will try to embarrass you and try to make explosive plays themselves if they find you in a bad situation. I'm all for the rotation that the Vols have on their offensive line, but like I know, if Joey's got time, he's going to throw it. If they disrupt him up front, it can be very problematic, too. They will blitz you also.
Yes.
Often. They want to light you up. I'm talking about 8 guys at the line of scrimmage.
From all places on the defense.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
Oklahoma leads the SEC in scoring defense, 12.5 points per game. Total defense, 240.3 yards per game. Tied for first against the pass at 155 yards per game. Third against the run. Interesting, as good as Oklahoma is at just stopping you, they've only really forced 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
Second in the conference with 29 sacks. 15 of those have come in 2 games. 9 sacks against Auburn in their SEC opener. 6 a couple of weeks ago against South Carolina. R. Mason Thomas, not Thompson. 8.5 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. Here's the thing, though, about Oklahoma's defense. We talked about this last week with Vandy and yesterday with Texas as far as the run defense perspective. Are you good at stopping the run? In Oklahoma's case, are you good at stopping the pass? Or have you just not really played a good passing team? When you look at the teams that Oklahoma has played this year, Ramon, last week was the first time they played a top 60 passing offense in college football this year.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss picked them apart.
Yes, they did.
Trinidad Chambliss had over 300 yards. Now, a lot of that is because Trinidad Chambliss is mobile enough and athletic enough to get out of the pocket and get away from R. Mason Thomas and David Stone and all of these things. But look at the teams that Oklahoma's played in the pass game. They're Power 4 games. Michigan is still, especially that early in the season, did not have a dynamic passing attack at all.
No.
Because Michigan does not scare you at the wide receiver position.
That score is 24-13.
Bryce Underwood is going to be very good. He has no one to throw to right now. Auburn, famously one of the worst pass offenses in the SEC. Texas.
Also in that Auburn game, too. Why did I turn my mic off? In that Auburn game, too, there were opportunities there for them to make plays, and they absolutely didn't at the quarterback position. Their wide receivers deserve better.
Yeah, much better.
Auburn's wide receivers
deserve
better.
They got better with Deuce
better, man.
with Ashton Daniels over the weekend.
I'm
and went over Arkansas.
Dog, there was opportunity there. And I will say this, too, they did fit the football in tight spots against them. Auburn battled. Auburn just had a left tackle, man, that just kept getting... He got worked. It was 1 sack he gave up in the game. I'm looking at him like, bro, what? Are you even trying? Do you know NFL scouts are watching you?
So that was through week 4 for Oklahoma. Kent State, the gold team the Brentwood Blaze could put up points against. Texas, 23-6 in Red River. That was a special teams and defense game for Texas, and Arch Manning made throws when he had to, but Arch Manning has not been great through the air this year. Lenore Sellers has a Brentwood Blaze offensive line blocking for him. At South Carolina, that was a 26-7 drubbing.
And they lit them up, too, as far as blitzes. You look at the pressures that they sent to them, they dared South Carolina to protect him.
And then Ole Miss, 34-26. I think the X factor for this game for Tennessee, can your wide receivers win one-on-one matchups against the Oklahoma defensive backfield? Because if so... you neutralize a lot of that pass rush. You get the ball out of Joey Aguilar's hands quickly, and it's the Chris Brazzell down there somewhere play. Yep. It's Mike Matthews beating his guy on the outside. It's taking a run solution screen and turning it into 7, 8, 9 yards the way you did against Kentucky instead of 2, 3, 4 yards against Alabama. That's, I think, the element of this game where Tennessee has a chance to really be successful. I think Tennessee is going to struggle to run the ball against Oklahoma to the level that they typically are able to run it against teams. I think that's the X factor in this game. Can your wide receivers win matchups on the perimeter and neutralize a lot of those blitzes, a lot of the eye candy that Oklahoma is going to show you? Because they're going to show you a lot of things pre-snap that they're going to change post-snap.
Yep, I agree.
That's their MO defensively.
Their issue is the same as the Vols have somewhat. They have a freshman cornerback that's starting right now for them, too.
That's 4. The vulnerability.
Yep, it is.
100%. So yes. I think Oklahoma has a very good defense. I don't think this is by any means an easy matchup just because Oklahoma has not played a great passing offense. But and shout out to Josh Pate, who had that stat on specifically the top 60 part of it last night. But looking at this yesterday morning after we got done and kind of putting some of this on paper, like that's kind of where I begin to evaluate this game from the Tennessee offense versus Oklahoma defense perspective. On the other side, Colton Hood needs to be healthy. And to your point about bottling up Isaiah Satania and limiting explosive plays, Tennessee is letting teams do really simple things and turn them into explosives. Yes, with the way that they are tackling, with the way that they are not getting after the quarterback. Ramon, Tennessee has 1 sack in the last 8 quarters. What's happened to this pass rush?
The open downfield, to be quite honest with you. Like I said, the enjoyment that you have, the joy that you have watching the Vols offense is wet blanketed by the defense giving up just short routes that turn into first downs. You have quarterbacks getting outside of the box. And then also, too, teams are getting the ball out quicker. When you get a reputation of being a sack-getting team, you don't have long, drawn-out plays. You either are max protecting, which is what Alabama did from time to time, or you do what Kentucky did. Kentucky, they weren't going to allow that quarterback to get sacked. They found a rhythm. They said you can't play well underneath. Your linebackers can't cover side to side the way you want them to. And just somehow, every single time, there's somebody in the secondary that's busting the play. We're going to find somebody. They're max protecting, chipping guys, and having the ability, Will, to simply just get down the field on them. The ball is coming out quick, and they're getting yards after catches, essentially what's happened, too. And then I got to give it up to them also. The last two offensive lines they've played, Alabama's got a solid one, and Kentucky, the big blue wall, as they call it, too. Mm-hmm. I thought the left tackle was going to be problematic for Kentucky. He played well enough, but here's the thing again. They did. They absolutely got the ball out quick. They were not going to allow the quarterback to get sacked, which is also why you have Idris Farouk blitz and time the ball to be able to tap it in the air, too. So they're going to have to be smart. Nobody's going to allow the quarterback to just drop back like that. Now, what I will say, John Mateer, he likes to hold it. He likes to go side to side. If they keep their rush lane integrity, there will be sacks to be given up because they also have a left tackle that's a freshman.
And the right tackle is a true freshman.
And because of injuries, they've been through it right now.
Michael Fasusi and Ryan Foje, the 2 freshman tackles.
F&F.
That's the advantage that Tennessee's got defensively on Oklahoma. In that environment, kneeling at night, maybe I'm buying too much into the hype videos and cliche. That means something. When you are a true freshman tackle playing in the environment that Neyland Stadium is going to be like, I don't care if you have prime Baker Mayfield behind you. Mm-hmm. That is a challenge against this Tennessee defense. And your ability to time up that snap count, if you are Caleb Herring, if you are Jordan Ross, if you are Joshua Josephs, because I think that's the other thing, Ramon, Tennessee's not had the benefit of. When you play 2 straight road games and the other team is not on the silent count, it is harder for you to time up the snap because you don't have as clear of an understanding of when they're going to snap the football, obviously, because center's not turning his head and then snapping it after they turn their head. Obviously, there are ways to change that up a little bit, but there is a reason why home teams are more disruptive against the pass. It is easier to time up the snap count when you are the home team and the crowd is as loud as it is. I'm
going to charge the Vol Nation. You mentioned that crowd is as loud as it is. It needs to be toxic. I don't think y'all understand this one.
It's going to
be. We're talking about playoff implications here, one that can be played in Knoxville if everything goes your way the rest of the season. It has to be toxic. You got 2 freshman edge players right now and a quarterback that came in highly rated. heralded as a Heisman favorite at some point, who still, in my personal opinion, has a finger issue.
Yeah, like, it's the hand. It's the throwing hand. Without that surgery, he's still in the Heisman discussion.
It needs to
100%.
be Lane Kiffin level hate inside of that building on Saturday night is what I'm telling you. I will be doing my hand flyover, okay? Don't let me down, Vol Nation.
So since Ryan Foje has gotten to Norman, he's been playing right guard, Ramon. He moved to right tackle last week. This is the first career road start for the Oklahoma right tackle in Neyland Stadium at night. Uh-oh.
Well.
I really think that's where Tennessee can have success. Now, again, to your point, if receivers are so open 1 second after the ball snapped, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because anybody can block for 0.5 seconds.
True.
I don't know. Titans have had some right tackles that might have been different
say,
on that past
don't
couple of years.
just like that. No,
Dennis Daly and Andre Dillard would like a word. But still, I do think that if you can just not allow some of these screens and easy dump down passes to go from 5-yard routes to 30-yard gains, and you turn pressure into sacks against John Mateer and not let him scramble away from some of that pressure like Taylor Green did.
Throwaways.
Right. It's being disruptive against that offense. That's where you've got the ability to have some success. I don't think the Oklahoma run game is going to have a ton of success in this game. I mean, you never know.
They have a
big back again.
Yes, they do have a big back. And
Xavier Robinson.
And also their breakaway. Yes, Xavier Robinson. He's got breakaway speed.
He's the 238-pound guy. He had the 65-yard run in the third quarter of Oklahoma's loss to Ole Miss last week.
Yes, got to chop his legs.
Really, they just had 2 explosives last week. Oklahoma did not move the ball really much in that game. They had 2 major explosive plays, a 76-yard catch and run from Isaiah Satania and a 65-yard run from Xavier Robinson. That's 140 yards of total offense in 2 plays. So you could look at that one side and say, oh, well, Oklahoma's offense isn't good if you just limit the explosives. Tennessee's not limiting explosives.
No, they're not.
That's the other problem. This offense cannot move the ball unless you help them with missed tackles and poor assignments. The problem is that Tennessee does both of those things. So is this a situation where Tennessee finds itself a little bit defensively against a team that struggles to extend drives? Or is it a situation where a team that struggles to extend drives doesn't need to because they can just hit a bunch of explosives with the athleticism that they have against a Tennessee defense that does not tackle well? The other big thing for Tennessee we've not mentioned, Tennessee 22nd with a +5 turnover margin. Falls top 25 in terms of forcing turnovers. Again, top 5 in the country in defensive touchdowns. Oklahoma is 117 in FBS with a -6 turnover margin.
Jeez.
That's the biggest on paper statistical advantage.
Let's hear what cough it.
Oklahoma will turn the football over if you let them.
Also, this is my person. They have a personality as a team too. Their personality they are very front runners. They are also bullies. I'll put it this way. The games, and maybe it's because of the rain, who knows, but the game against Ole Miss, the game against Auburn were totally different in the matchups. I ain't go all the way back to the Michigan game because that was an emotional wreck. Whatever that game was, it is what it is. But here's what I'm getting at. The real good teams, they're hesitant with. They want to jump out on you quickly, but if you punch them in the mouth, they kind of lay a little bit. Against South Carolina, they were lights. I'm talking about lit up to want to go make plays against them. It's fascinating watching how they approach those games versus the big matchups that they had to go up against just okay talent. They didn't play it the same. It's the way I'm looking at Venables right now.
Coming up, I'm going to do something I don't want to do. Begrudgingly, we're going to look at a mock draft coming up next.
Oh. It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. Jewel Roofing and Exteriors have been family-owned and locally trusted for over 25 years, man. They're proudly based here in Middle Tennessee, man. I know the owner, Robbie, man, super cool dude. He came by my house last week and fixed some, small things up on top of the roof. I told you, man, they're very upfront and honest when you have them come by your house And the thing that they believe in is this. They don't door knock. They don't storm chase. They don't want to leave signs in your neighborhood. What they want to do is build relationships with you, educate you, and earn referrals through trust. And that's essentially what they've done with me, man. The local license and experience, and not just some out-of-town crew. They're right here in this area. They've been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro, as I told you a second ago, for over 25 years. If it's raining outside right now, if you got a little leakage going on in your house, reach out to my friends, man, at Jewel Roofing. Our website is jewelroofing.com. You can also call them. You put the number in your phone right now, 615-868-9999. Very easy to remember. Or you can just listen to me and go to jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
Relocating is a challenge. It's a headache. And for Lisa, selling her home of more than 20 years felt overwhelming. She was recovering from surgery, living alone, and unsure how to take the next step. That's when my good friend Bernie Gallerani of Bernie Gallerani Real Estate stepped in. What's going on? It's Will Boulding. With compassion, guidance, and just the right amount of encouragement, Bernie's team helped her prepare, host open houses, and in just a matter of weeks, she had a strong offer on the table. She walked away with a financial outcome she wanted and the chance to purchase a condo near her son, all in the same day with no loans required. Here to tell you that if you're looking to relocate in Middle Tennessee, Bernie Gallerani is the real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee. So what he's going to do is he's going to guarantee to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. Bernie is the real estate agent who's going to promise this, and if not, he will buy it from you. Some restrictions do apply, but if you're ready to sell your home, head online, BernieGallerani.com. Just click on how much is your home really worth. Enter your address, boom. Got an answer right there in only 30 seconds. Or you can call Bernie as well. His website, BernieGallerani.com, is number 615-428-2644. My friend Bernie Gallerani is the local agent you need. That's not a cookie-cutter approach. He's going to help you sell your home and find that neighborhood you've been looking to move into. Online at BernieGallerani.com or call him at 615-428-2644.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
All right, don't say I didn't ever do anything for you. Wrapping up the first half of the show on Wednesday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. You can mark this down. Wednesday, October the 29th, 2025. The first time we looked at a mock draft in the 2026 draft season. Listen, I don't want to. So many of you want to.
You did it.
You're bringing the hashtag Mock Draft Monday from Buck Show. This is not Buck Show.
Wishful Wednesdays.
Wishful Wednesdays, sure.
Hopping on the crazy train?
Yeah, Will, definitely on the crazy train. You're breaking your own rules here.
I am. I'm doing so more not to talk about who the Titans could draft because there's just so much time for us to know who that is or who's going to be available or who's not going to be available, where the Titans are picking, what the Titans need, who the Titans sign in free agency, who they re-sign, all these things. But I do want to illustrate just from a college football perspective, Ramon, because this is where I'm okay with doing mock drafts this time of year. A checkpoint, if you will.
All right.
A place where we save the video game and come back to it later. Of at this point, who are the quarterbacks we think are going to go where? Who's in the mix? Whose stock can rise or fall from this kind of starting point, right? Ty Simpson is the number 1 overall pick in CBS Sports' mock draft that was put out by Cooper Patania yesterday. You surprised by that?
No. Ty Simpson, to me, as I said, watching him, is a quarterback. I don't even need him to run a 40 time. I don't want him to do the measurables.
8 starts into his career.
Tape I've seen from him, one, he's waited on his opportunity. It's showing it right now. Does he need more tape? Yes, but there's also been quarterbacks that have done a whole lot less than he's doing right now. He's, to me, elevating this team. I don't know what Alabama is without what Ty Simpson's doing with his legs behind the pocket and with his arms through the air. His precision is elite. I'm looking at the player. He, to me, QB. Don't give me dual threat. QB is what he is.
Him and Dante Moore are the top 2 picks in CBS Sports' mock draft. Dante Moore, the sophomore quarterback at Oregon. He's 20 years old. UCLA transfer. The guy they've got as their 3rd quarterback going 4th overall to the Cleveland Browns is Fernando Mendoza. To me, Mendoza's mix of experience, his size at 6'5", 225, his accuracy, completing 72% of his passes, his decision-making, his ability to lead Oklahoma. You can tell who I'm thinking of. Indiana to an 8-0 start for a 2nd straight year under head coach Curt Cignetti. The Cal transfer, I think Mendoza's QB1. A lot of time left. Again, this is where we give lots of caveats when we do October mock drafts. But that's who they've got going 4th. They have the Titans picking 3rd.
You know the problem with Mendoza going 4th?
Yeah. What?
You're going to Cleveland.
Well, yeah, of course.
I just shake my head at that.
They have the Titans taking Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receiver, with the 3rd overall pick. 6'3", 195, Ohio State, 587 yards so far this year. I mean, Ohio State receivers, you could do far worse.
Yeah, you could.
Him and Mekhi Lemon, the USC wideout, are going to be the names you'll hear. At edge rusher, you're going to hear a lot about Keldrick Falk. He's kind of the type the Titans have as well of bigger edges. 6'6", 285, a little bit of D-tackle, a little bit of edge, more of a Danico Autry type, maybe. And then Reuben Bain Jr. is the other one at 275 pounds. He's fallen off a little bit from the where he was at the very beginning of the season. TJ Parker, you could say the same about him. Yeah. They've got him in the top 12 picks as well, the edge at a Clemson. Look, I mean, the Titans,
Washington.
The Titans need the best football player.
Yeah.
Going into this, the Titans need to find a premium player. I really don't care what position they play.
I haven't seen just a little bit of it. I like, what's his name, Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon out of USC.
Lemon. I'm not opposed to, just because of the reputation of Carnell Tate being that type of dude. I got to see more of Carnell Tate. I'll be quite honest with you. Ohio State tape hadn't been on my radar like that, but I know what he is as a prospect. You know, he's a 5-star, et cetera, et cetera. But I got to get more familiar with his game. What's fascinating about this group, though, too, well, this one mock draft in particular, every other pick is DT, OT. It's so many guards and D tackles and D linemen. Spencer Fano out of Utah is 6th overall pick. Like every other selection is a D lineman or offensive lineman. I didn't realize it was going to be this rich.
An interesting option that could be for the Titans in the second round, because now we're going to go to the second round, is linebacker out of Texas Tech is David Bailey. He's got 10.5 sacks this year already. 7 last year. Yeah, 2 forced fumbles this year. That's a good option.
We're talking about inside
We're doing
or outside
second
linebacker?
round mock drafts.
Listen, Will.
Guys.
I'm just surprised that he's not
I
in the
gave
first
you
round.
one round. I can't give you a second
I
yet.
ain't mad
If
at
we're going to hop on a crazy train, we're going to go all aboard.
I'll allow it.
Let's go.
Yes. I'm going to be real. They got a running back, Jeremiah Love.
Here's the headline of what this mock
cold.
draft means this time of year. 4 quarterbacks go in the first round in this thing. The Titans are going to be in a very good position to make someone overpay to move up to take their quarterback, regardless of where they pick. Let's not do the I hope my team loses thing this year, guys.
Oh, it's going to happen.
I never said it.
hoping,
I
you
never
just
said it
are.
wasn't going to happen. I'm trying to encourage it not to happen. I'm doing my part to say that ultimately, guys, someone's going to trade up for your pick if you want them to this year, which is hopefully what's going to happen. Ty Simpson goes 1, Dante Moore goes 2, Fernando Mendoza goes 3, and Lenoris Sellers goes 19 to the Pittsburgh Steelers in this CBS Sports mock draft. That's 4 quarterbacks in the first round. You want all those QBs to still be going there if you're the Tennessee Titans. You want quarterbacks galore in the first 32 picks of the 2026 NFL draft.
You didn't say the projected 23rd and 26th pick.
I hadn't gotten there yet, but let's do it. Colton Hood, corner, Tennessee, goes 23 to the Rams in this mock draft. And Jermod McCoy, corner, Tennessee, goes 26. Jermod McCoy, after our conversation with Austin Price yesterday, too, I'm a little more optimistic again that Jermod McCoy is going to play football this year. I'm hopeful. I need it.
I need it this week.
All of a sudden, your pass defense wouldn't be in the 120s in terms of pass yards per game allowed if Jermod McCoy's out there.
If Jermod McCoy
Best corner in college football
wants to come and play this week, I'll tell the other 89 players on the team, y'all run through the tee first and let Jermod walk out.
Coming up, second half of the show, we got a glimpse into Arden Key's trade value yesterday. I'll tell you what it is coming up next.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy, good people. What makes them the MVPs? Well, to start, they use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone to increase your testosterone to a level that is just right for you. It's personalized. It's one thing they will do for you. As you know, the other clinics also may compound the testosterone, so you don't even know what's in or how effective it'll be. Synergex and Low T Center are the real experts that you can trust for quality care. Also, they are one of the only providers that accept major insurances. Other clinics and online services charge you sky-high prices for testing, labs, membership. It just goes on and on with the costs that they can incorporate into your bill. The Synergex and Low T Center, they make it affordable and easy for you to start and also stay on treatment, man. They also treat women. We all know that testosterone replacement therapy does for men. We know what it does. But did you also know that women would benefit as well? Women experience many of the same symptoms of men with low testosterone: tiredness, no energy, mood swings, low libido. So women can go in and get tested and also get started on treatment themselves. Simply put, man, to go book an appointment with Synergex and Low T Center, go to trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
It is 8:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Hump Day. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Titans are back on the practice field today as preparations begin for the Week 9 matchup against the LA Chargers at Nissan Stadium this Sunday. Interim head coach Mike McCoy will speak to the media ahead of practice around 11:50 this morning, and then quarterback Cam Ward will speak after practice around 2:20 this afternoon. In other NFL news, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson was listed as a full participant in Tuesday's practice and is poised to make his return as the Ravens play the Dolphins Thursday night, saying he is, quote, 100% healthy. Also, the Denver Broncos are reportedly not planning on placing cornerback Patrick Surtain II on injured reserve with a pec strain. The target return date would be Week 13 against the Washington Commanders. And in baseball, the World Series is all tied up at 2 games apiece as the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Los Angeles Dodgers last night 6-2 in L.A. Game 5 tonight, again in L.A. at Dodger Stadium with first pitch at 7 o'clock on Fox. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 3, second half of the show. Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee on this brisk and rainy Wednesday morning. The weather outside is baked potato soup weather. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, our producer. Coming up in 15 minutes, Tyler McComas, our Oklahoma expert, previews Tennessee and Oklahoma from the Sooners' perspective. Tyler, we've had on from time to time, previewing the Sooners back in the offseason. Talked to him before the Michigan game. We'll dive into the latest out of Norman coming up in 15 minutes. On Twitter, at Ramon and Will, where you can interact and tweet at the show. Where Flu Vol writes in, Ramon, and says, who says the Titans won't trade Cam Ward if they have the first pick and take Ty Simpson? I am. I'm saying.
Next ChatGPT.
I'm Will Bowling saying the Titans won't trade Cam Ward if they have the number 1 overall pick. You never say never, but also, no, it's not going to happen.
Is Zach Wilson the fastest one to be traded out somewhere and with the Jets?
In terms of first-round pick quarterbacks?
Round, yeah.
Josh Rosen, I believe, would be the quickest to be traded.
Arizona.
Arizona, when they gave him up to go draft Kyler Murray in the 2019 NFL draft in Nashville.
Oh, that is true. Wow. That's right. I was trying to do a quick research on that one. Yeah, I don't think Cam's in. They love Cam. They love his attitude.
They believe in Cam in that building quite a bit.
You're right. Josh Rosen, 10th overall, 2018.
Yep. 1 year, then we'll see it, pal.
Ooh.
And then his career never equated really to much of anything in the NFL.
Shortest tenures. Yeah, let me ask ChatGPT more stuff. That's fascinating, though, man. There is a portion, before we move further, of this fan base that do look at Cam, okay, like, let's go ahead and find the next best thing. Like, last year going into this draft process, I feel like a good portion of this fan base is Cam or bust. That was the messaging, right? Cam or bust is how it was viewed and what this fan base wanted as a quarterback within a year, whether that's him, and we don't know if it's all his play or whether it's coaching malpractice, has gotten some people cool on what he is as a quarterback here.
Needs more time.
It needs more time.
We got a glimpse yesterday into Arden Key's trade value, Ramon, as the Patriots traded Keon White to the San Francisco 49ers. Keon White had the same amount of sacks as Arden Key last year, 5. Now, not identical prospects, not identical trade pieces. Keon White is a younger player, just 3 years into his NFL career. Arden Key is in year 8. Arden Key also had 6.5 sacks in 2024, not 5, but Keon White is more of a higher upside prospect, more so than Arden Key, who you kind of know what you're getting, right?
Yeah, you do.
Secondary pass rush option, 5 to 7 sacks for him, serviceable for a team that needs help at edge rusher, but isn't going to rely on that player for a ton, to be honest with you. New England will receive a 2026 6th-round pick for White and a 7th heading to San Francisco. Am I fair in saying that that's a similar trade value to what Arden Key would be? Because, yes, Arden Key has a little bit more production, but he's also older.
Yeah,
and more expensive.
Yeah, and then he's a secondary rusher too. When you look at his role, and Arden last year, watching him, I thought he turned the corner as far as like his rush plan and how he was going to win. He started off the Colts game, if I'm not mistaken, or the Lions game, just hot as I've ever seen him in his career. He has, as a teammate, I think he's probably phenomenal. As a defensive end that's got to get a lot of production, he's middle of the road with that one. And that's where he got to figure that part out for the rest of his career and the duration of it. I'm just shocked. I thought it would be a little bit more for a guy like him. I mean, he's got the build for it, and Denard Wilson has an attacking defense where he can go win games. And for whatever reason, those switches don't click for guys the way I think they should. I'm selfish in thinking if you're built like how he's built, then it's supposed to be easy, but it's not check that box for him. He, to me, I think, to your point, would be a 6-7 round draft pick at this point. Well, trade value.
Keon White, second-round pick into the Patriots in 2023, has played 5 games with 1 start this year. He was a healthy scratch in New England's game against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. Only has 6 tackles this year. Has 6 career sacks. Arden Key well above that. But again, older player with a little bit less projectable upside long-term. Keon White, a little bit more of a project, but I think that's the comp.
Yeah, it is.
Would you do that deal? Would you do Arden Key and send him? Would you trade him for a 6th round pick swap and send a 7th with Arden somewhere? Or would you just hold on to Arden Key and say, let's just play it out and still have somebody to help this defense?
If the goal is to get as many draft picks as you want, it's a matter. This, again, it goes down to who's going to fill in the spots for him too. Right? Ali Gay, no, he just went to IR. Jalen Harrell.
Truman Jones, your boy.
Truman Jones. What a name.
Titans' newest edge rusher they signed yesterday.
Truman Jones, boy. Jahad Ward.
Femi Oladejo's not healthy.
I thought Arden would be gone. So I'd take that trade, especially if I'm just trying to plan for the future. If now, again, this goes to who's making that call, though. Is this Mike Bergonzi, Chad Brinker? Or is this Coach McCoy that said we can do better with trying to develop younger guys?
Mike Bergonzi, Chad Brinker.
Well, no, don't trade them.
They're the decision makers.
It goes against everything that I feel like as a player. That's the frustrating part about where they are right now, the Titans in this process, is there are human bodies that are being utilized to fit whatever they want. And like I said, the ultimate goal is to compete and win. And if you're going to trade away Arden in this situation when the season is at a standstill,
1-7,
1-7, you don't get into this game to be a pawn like that. That's all I'm saying. But
it is the unfortunate reality of the business of the NFL.
It is. That's what I was going to say. That's how I really just, I guess, settle on myself as a player when having to deal with hard moments.
I totally get it.
It's a beautiful game with a dirty business behind it.
Totally get it.
You can't sit up here, Chad and Mike Bergonzi, and say to us, like, yeah, we're trying to compete and put the best team out there. Well, just, they ain't got to say it, but just give me the nod and wink. It's like, yeah, we full of crap right now, and this sucks, and we're planning for the future. And they'll never have to say it. They don't.
Their actions say it.
But the belief in what they're trying to do on Sundays is fake as hell. Just to be, as blunt as I can be on this family network, it's going to be hard to get a buy-in again when you see the signs like this being painted in front of your face like that. Next year we'll do this, and it's going to be exciting going into training camp, and in the back of everybody's mind is going to be like, yeah, well, show me.
I don't know if I would do it for a 6 to 7 pick swap. Maybe if you could get a future 7 or give a future 7 for this year's 6th from someone, that I would do. Like if I'm sending Arden Key and a 2027 7th round pick to receive a 2026 6th round pick, I think I would do that deal. I believe that Arden Key's value is beyond just what he does on the field.
Okay.
Because I've seen the way he coaches his teammates on the sideline. The way he's the one leading the team out of the tunnel before games. I mean, that's not everything. I'm not going to be naive and say that
$7 million a year. I do the same thing too.
Yeah, it's not it's not all of a player's value. Obviously, what they do on the field is what matters. But again, I do think that Arden Key's leadership traits and voice in that locker room, when you talk about what's the best for your current young players on the team, I think there's something to be said for that. Artie Key's a guy that gives a crap, that cares, that is bought in, that's not give it up. And what's the value of that for a young player like Femi Oladejo, for a young player like Jalen Harrell? They can answer that better than I can. I don't know. I'm not in that locker room every day. But that's the other thing you've got to weigh within this. If you are giving up leaders on the team, are you hurting the development of some of your young players, or are you putting them in a better possession to be successful because now they get to play more?
Yeah.
Not every trade piece is created equally. Some guys, you get rid of them in the locker room, may not even know they're gone, respectfully.
That's very true.
Some guys like Arden Key that are vocal, that are out front, both literally and figuratively, you're going to know they're gone. It's going to feel really different in that room. What's the value of that to you as an organization for the short term? They're going to have to answer that case by case. I don't know.
They will. And again, I feel like every piece of this roster, except up to 5 guys, is in that boat, though, Will. Like you mentioned earlier, everybody's up for sale except for 2, 3, 4 guys.
Chess pieces.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's where, like I said, the week-to-week discussion of wins and losses. I said this to you yesterday as we was living in the parking lot. We used to be adamantly scout meeting Wednesday. We're talking about the business more than we're talking about the game for this team.
We will preview Titans and Chargers with Rhett Bryan at 9, but yes, you are right.
Well, yeah, but that's the fun part of competing, where I say, like, the frustration of, do you trade them, do you not trade them? Well, doggone it.
That's a hotter topic right now than the week-to-week preparation for the upcoming opponent.
And that's why I said, like, the game, at some point, and I joked about it the other day when we closed out the show, it's like, it'll get better at one point in time.
Yeah.
I don't know when it is, though.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the more and more we have these types of conversations, the more and more you realize they are planning. Like, we had, I think it was last year also, we had the conversation about tank. You can't handle a tank. Doggone it, we driving a no-limit soldier tank right now.
We're stomaching it now, yeah, like it or not. I do think that's the thing they've got to figure out. Who are the right personalities that value is going to go beyond what a team is just willing to pay you for them in the trade market? Arden Key is one of those guys. Chikakonko is one of those guys. What is the value of leadership in a rebuild when you have young players who might need a little bit of veteran comfort and veteran leadership to, I'm not going to say like hold their hand through this, but to lead them through a really bad situation right now, because the Titans are in a really bad spot. They just are. In the short term, this is hard to stomach. It's hard in that locker room. You're trying to teach young players how to be winners while losing a lot. I don't think that you can just make a 6th to 7th round pick swap plus Arden Key and just be done with it and wash your hands of it. I think there's more value to, there you go again with the 6, 7 stuff. I think there's more value to just what he brings versus just what's on the field.
Let me ask you something. So we're talking about just the projection of this team. If we believe other teams covet what Chikakonko is, does it satisfy you if he stays here for a 3-year, $18 million deal? If others think he's going to be good, and I think a lot of this fan base is saying to Chig or saying about Chig, God, he's going to go somewhere else and be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly open to keeping Chig around. They've got the money. And again, what kind of head coach are they bringing in? Because Robert Saleh might have a different vision for what the tight end usage is going to be here than Cliff Kingsbury would, or Mike McCarthy would. I don't know what offense they're running, so I don't know what kind of tight ends or wide receivers or running backs. It's hard to project without knowing who's coaching the team. And that's the other challenge of this, is that you are setting personnel and you are making decisions based off of a system that doesn't exist yet.
Right.
And won't exist until February or March. Tyler McComas, the Rush on the Ref in Norman, joins us. He'll preview Oklahoma, Tennessee from the Sooners' perspective next.
We're really lucky to have Genesis Diamonds here. In a sea of corporate jewelers, Genesis is such a refreshing alternative, man. Genesis, they always stay ahead of the pack. They got bigger selection, new and trending styles, more pricing flexibility, stronger warranties, higher quality standards. And as we head into the holiday season, Genesis is fully stocked, case after case of dazzling jewelry like rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, luxury pre-owned Rolex, watches. They got it all, man. All at a guaranteed best value price and no commission salespeople. No pressure ever at Genesis to buy. And if you're thinking about the holiday engagement, now's the time to get into Genesis and let the experts help you create a ring of her dreams. They've got all the top ring designers. They've got diamonds in every shape, every size, natural and lab grown. Genesis is a breath of fresh air. Locally owned but internationally connected is what they tell you. They have the buying power to guarantee you the best value while never sacrificing good old-fashioned customer care. You would never be treated like a number at Genesis. Genesis Diamonds is my jeweler. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Perfect. Good, how are you? Of course, anytime. Anytime you guys need me, no problem. Well, good, because I'm heading to Neyland for the first time ever this weekend, so good timing. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Um, Not really. I mean, I guess maybe our show and our station a little bit because we have like Dory Noka on our show of the SEC Network. He does a 3-hour show with us every day, but that's probably about it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, that's all good. I do like a college softball YouTube show, but I don't think that there's a huge audience for that in Nashville. So, but all good. Mm.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, continues on 104.5 The Zone. Scooters Coffee is locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, Sormount, Juliet. He is Vault Network analyst Ramon Foster. I am Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined this morning by our resident Oklahoma Sooner. From the Rush on the Ref from 3 to 6 in Norman, Tyler McComas joins us, previewing Tennessee, Oklahoma from the Sooners' perspective. Tyler, I'm told you're making the trip to Knoxville this weekend. Is this your first time in Neyland on Saturday?
First time in Neyland. I get a night game in Neyland. Oof. And I've been fortunate in life to go to some really cool college football destinations. Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Nebraska, BYU. I've been to some cool places. This is the stop, guys. I'm not just saying this because I'm on in Nashville and Ramon is sitting right there and none of that. I've always wanted to go to Neyland since I was a kid. This has always been at the top of my college football bucket list. I don't really know how the game's going to go. The game could go awful for me, but I've always wanted to go to Neyland, so I'm pretty jacked about that. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
It's going to be a good time, Tyler.
You're going to see it at its peak. This is going to be I heard it described yesterday as a loser leaves town game, right? It is in a lot of ways a playoff elimination game for both of these teams, especially with what Oklahoma has left on its schedule. Let's start here, Tyler, just breaking down this matchup. What was most disappointing about the Ole Miss loss for Oklahoma from Brent Venables' perspective?
Quarterback play. I talked to you guys early in the year, and I probably said some things like John Mateer's really good. He's got a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. And guys, before the thumb injury, he was. Before the thumb injury, if you looked at Heisman list, he was right there at the top of the list. He just hasn't been the same since the thumb injury. And there's a few reasons why. One, I think it's still or hasn't been 100%, but it's been more mental than anything with him. The offense was not great against a very gettable Ole Miss defense last week. But the offense wasn't great because there wasn't necessarily anybody open. The offense wasn't great because the starting quarterback, the guy that you paid a lot of money, the guy that you thought was a Heisman contender a month ago, he missed a lot of things that were there. Like there were plays to be made and throws to be made down the field, and he didn't hit him and he didn't see him. So that is easily the most disappointing thing, even though the defense gave up some plays. Even though you had a big special teams gaffe where you fumbled a punt around midfield down 5, easily the most disappointing thing is that your quarterback, not only did he not play like an elite dude, he played like a guy that I don't really know what he was looking at or what he was saying. So that's got to be better this week. And for Oklahoma, that's the big factor. How does John Mateer play? I think is going to play a large part in telling how this game goes for OU.
Tyler McComas for the Ref and Norman, our guest, talking Oklahoma football. And Tyler, you've got 2 freshman tackles coming into this environment in Neyland Stadium as well this weekend. I know that on one side, Ryan Foje performed pretty well for his first career start, moving from guard over the weekend. And when you have the Bill Bedenbaugh seal of approval, there's a certain trust factor that comes with that. But where's your concern level for the 2 freshman tackles and just for this offensive line going into this environment where now Tennessee's defense and pass rush has the benefit of the snap count and the home environment to try to get pressure on John Mateer?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that you want. I think the last time that OU was in Neyland in 2015, you had a young Orlando Brown, who's been a great NFL player, starting over there on the left side. So this is going to be the loudest and toughest environment that OU has seen since it walked into the SEC. And it's going to be the toughest environment that I think OU has seen the past several years. So it's not ideal, but I will actually present to you the positive side of this, because all of this year up to this point, and really even all of last year, it's been a banged up offensive line for whatever reason. And it hasn't allowed them to find any continuity whatsoever. It's like, we were okay last week, but this guy got hurt. He got rolled up on at the end of the game, or he got a concussion in practice. So we have a different starter than what we had last week at left tackle. Or we have a couple of different starters at guard than we had. I mean, it is insane, OU's inability the past year and a half to have the same starting 5 one week to the next week. So at least it seems like they're going to have that, some sort of continuity. And again, it's not ideal to go up against the Tennessee D-line that has the 4th most sacks in the SEC. But I think all things considered, both those guys, they gave up some plays, but they played okay. They played all right against Ole Miss. This is going to be a different challenge for sure, but at least they're seemingly going to have the same 5 as the previous week, and it's been a long time since I could say that.
We're joined by Tyler McComas of Rush on the Refs, talking this weekend's matchup with Tennessee versus Oklahoma. Tyler, when you look at this matchup, like you said, John Mateer is a guy that was heralded as a guy that was going to be elite, potential first-round, Heisman, everything checks into it. But then you look at his plays, I think it's 6 interceptions. He's also been a part of some fumbles too. Is it his need and want to make plays for this OU team as the issue that he has going through? Because the fact that OU has a defensive head coach, those guys are very keen and very specific and hard on keeping the ball and protecting the ball. He's done the opposite of that. Why is that? Is it his personality or what?
Man, when he stepped into OU for the very first day, he had all this confidence, he had all this swagger, and basically the entire team said, hey, we know you, we know what you're all about, lead us, man. You're the leader of this offense, take control. And when he stepped in day one, he had that confidence, he had that swagger. People are comparing him to Baker Mayfield for what he's all about, which was really unfair when you look back at it now. But just personality-wise, he had that. And he had that over the win against Michigan, where he was incredible and gutsy and ran the ball all over the place, took some big hits. He was like that in the Auburn game, where he had that thumb injury in the first quarter, played through it, and led OU to a victory. And then the game against UT Junior happened, where he had 3 interceptions in that game. And it was just – I just wonder if that was a real mental setback for him. And I wonder if losing kind of that game and on that stage was the realization of, oh, wow, like this is big time. This is serious stuff. He knew it already, but playing in that game and playing as poorly as he did, I don't know. He just really hasn't been the same guy, almost more mentally than anything. Because like I said, the throws are there to be made. He's not making the right reads at times. So I still think he is that gritty, gutsy guy. I think it's as simple as he's got to get that confidence back. Can he find that confidence at Neyland Stadium at night? It's going to be tough. I mean, maybe he can. But, guys, I've looked at Tennessee. Clearly, I know what's going on with OU. I think it's the biggest key to this game. Against a very opportunistic Tennessee defense that may give up points and yards, but they can get turnovers, they can get sacks. Can he take care of the football and play clean ball? Like that, to me, that's the story of the game.
It is, and it'll be O-line versus D-line. It's a night game. Guys going to be just ready and amped up to go, and coaches, I feel like, are going to try to settle this down. One way I think OU will attempt to is on the ground. I'm looking at a guy who had a breakout run last week against Ole Miss and Xavier Robinson. Will mentioned it earlier. We were talking a little bit about you guys, but Jaden Otten hadn't had a big-time role in this offense. What is this OU run game like, considering you do have freshmen at the edge right now at tackles?
It's been non-existent for the majority of the year. Actually, early on, the run game was, let's snap it to John Mateer and let him run the left or right side and see if he can go create and make a play that way. But he just doesn't, I don't know, he just doesn't look like the same athlete as he did before the thumb injury. So I don't know what's going on there. I think you're going to see less quarterback run game from OU and more, like you said, downhill run game, trying to hit the edge. It was good against South Carolina. Man, that was the best run game that they had all year long. Torrey Blaylock, the true freshman, had a season high with 101 yards. And then he didn't do much last week. There wasn't much there for him. And then they put in Xavier Robinson, who's a true sophomore, had a great game against Alabama last year where he rushed for a couple of touchdowns. You mentioned the 65-yarder that he hit on. He also had a run on like a 3rd and 7 from the 9 where he scores from 9 yards out. He's their best running back right now. He's their best option. So if we're talking about the OU run game, I don't know if he starts. I don't know if he gets the first carry, but I won't be shocked at all if Xavier Robinson has the most carries, and that's where their run game is going to have to come from. The true sophomore Xavier Robinson, the true freshman Torrey Blaylock, those are clearly your best 2 guys. You mentioned Jaden Ott. It's been a disaster. It's not a fun name that people like to talk about from around here. So those are your best 2 guys, and I would guess that whatever this run game does, it's going to come on the back of Xavier Robinson this week. But he's going to have a similar performance as he did a week ago. He was really impressive for sure, and one of the few bright spots that this offense had a week ago.
Tyler McComas, so the rush on the ref, Norman, Oklahoma, talking Oklahoma Sooners football. Tyler, the defensive backs for Oklahoma, statistically, the Sooners have had such an elite pass defense this year. And then last week, they played a top 60 passing offense for the first time in 2025. How much of that success has been dependent on just the quality of opponent you think that Oklahoma is seeing? And then what is your confidence level just in those defensive backs winning matchups against the likes of Chris Brazzell, Braylon Staley, and Mike Matthews on the Vol side?
Man, I'll tell you this. Trinidad Chambliss he's legit. Yeah, I mean, OU had him countless, like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and that's been a death sentence for opposing offenses this year. And he would slip out and he'd rush for a first down. He'd continue the drive. Like that kid's, he's a handful, man. He's really good, and he was the best player on the field on Saturday. All things considered, though, I thought OU's corners, they didn't play elite, but they're okay. They're really young at that spot, but they're really good. You got Eli Bowen back from a year ago. You got Cortland Guillory, who's a freshman, but he's been playing all year long. I think he's really good. This is their toughest test to date. I mean, there's no doubt, because when I look at Tennessee's offense, I see an offense that, buddy, we are not scared to throw it down the field.
That's right.
We're not scared to throw it down the field to Brazzell and get one-on-ones, to Mike Matthews down the field. This is a super aggressive offense that does a great job of putting their best guys in great situations down the field and finding their one-on-ones. So I feel okay. I feel okay about OU's corner situation up to this point, but this is going to be their biggest test, man. There's no doubt about it. Like Tennessee's offense, the way they stretch the field, those corners are going to have to hold up. They're both very young, and Tennessee will hit on some plays, no doubt. But I think that those corners that's a pretty good solid duo that you've got there for Oklahoma. Maybe you call it the back end, the weak spot of the defense, but this is a defense, guys, that's really, really, really good. And I know it struggled at times against Ole Miss last week, but this is still the best defense easily in over a decade for Oklahoma. The best part about them is in their defensive front, for sure. So if Tennessee does want to throw it deep, you're going to have to keep OU's pass rush off of Joey Aguilar a little bit. But I think these OU corners will be okay. It won't be a disaster. I'm not projecting that on Saturday.
Head coach Brent Venables downplayed a little bit of the relationships between the two staffs. Everybody know Josh Heupel played there, and former offensive coordinator Seth Luttrell, he exposed over the last couple of days that they hadn't talked. What is that conversation like? Is this a petty moment for one trying to get the other, or does Venables just not care about it?
I don't think he cares about it. I don't think he's thought about it. I mean, Seth Luttrell, yes, Brent was on that staff in 2000 where Seth was in the backfield. I don't think that situation went well last year. Frankly, I think it was a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way. Seth Luttrell was an Oklahoma guy who was a member of the 2000 national championship team, right? So he's kind of a loved son around here. And in his first season as an offensive coordinator, he made it midway through the first season.
Jeez.
It's got to be a disaster for it only to last half of a year in year one. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if those last conversations, I don't know, were a little bit hostile or didn't go all that well. So that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. The Josh Heupel storyline was such a big storyline a year ago. He was coming home, all of that. And I mentioned it on our show yesterday. Not that anyone's forgotten about Josh Heupel or anything, but it's just not nearly as big of a storyline this time around. Last year was the return home and all of that. And in a lot of ways, he just kind of feels like he's just the other coach on the other side. Mm-hmm. So those two storylines just really, and maybe it gets more traction as the week goes on, but it just really hasn't been a big thing around here up to this point.
I just want to ask about Isaiah Satania also.
Satania.
I'm going to get that G and N. I can say lasagna, but I can't get Satania
Yeah, it's just like that.
All right. Tell us about him a little bit, man. He's track speed, dynamic playmaker, numerous 100-yard games. He seems to be the guy to get the offense going. I think he sets the personality more than almost John Mateer at times because he's so confident in his play.
Was in Arkansas last year, and sounds like he wanted to find an offense that could, feature him a little bit more, put him in better spots in the passing game. He's OU's best receiver, guys. I mean, frankly, I don't think it's really close. And you mentioned the track speed. I mean, they had a long touchdown pass that, in the stat sheet, if you're just stat watching, you say, whoa, I mean, that's long touchdown. Maybe John Mateer made like some incredible deep throw down the field. Not really. I mean, he just found Satania over the middle, and Satania turned on the jets, dude, and just took off. So they like to hit him over the middle, give him some space, use his speed. If OU is going to do real damage in the passing game on Saturday, I think the majority of it's going to come from him. He's also their punt returner, and he did have the big fumble at midfield a week ago. He had a muff punt against Michigan, so he's made a couple of mistakes there. But outside that, I think he's been pretty solid punt returner. He's just a burner, guys, is what he is. And I don't foresee OU hitting him necessarily on a ton of deep balls down the field, but they're going to work him across the middle and try to use that speed as much as possible for him to separate. But, yeah, he's been super impressive. And if you want to talk about bright spots on this offense so far this year, you probably start with Satania because he's definitely wide receiver one.
Mm-hmm. Tyler McComas has been our guest, host of The Rush on the Ref, 3 to 6 in Norman. Great breakdown on the Sooners ahead of Tennessee and Oklahoma this Saturday night. Tyler, enjoy Knoxville, enjoy Neyland. You're walking into a really fun environment. Should be a good one. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Tyler.
I can't wait. Hope to see everybody out there. If you have a sweet tailgate, just hit me up.
All right.
I'm going to be the life of the party for the U Vols fans.
Sounds good. I love it. Thank you, Tyler.
I love it. Thanks, Tyler. See you.
You bet.
All right, Tyler McComas with us this morning. Good breakdown. I mean, look, shutting down Isaiah Satania is priority one in this game. And as poorly as Tennessee's tackled in the secondary, and as poor as some of the effort has been from Tennessee defenders in the secondary this year, that is absolutely the challenge and absolutely the thing that gives Oklahoma a lifeline in this game.
It's the most obvious thing, right? Like, rushing coverage has to work hand in hand, but if they're getting open quick or you can't affect the passing lanes, even if you're the defensive line, too. Like, there's a portion of this where you got to be smart. If you catch the flow of the game by the middle of the first quarter, it's like, oh, yo, he's getting rid of the football. Get your hands up. You ain't going to sack him today. Be smart about where you putting your eyes and hands at in a weekend like this one.
Sure. Coming up, let's take a look at a hotboard, shall we? Because there's an LSU writer that has 2 coaches in the state of Tennessee up for the LSU job, and it's not the 2 coaches you'd expect. Coming up next.
Yo, let's talk about your hair for a second, all right? If you're losing it and desire to have it back, then Advanced Hair Restoration has the easiest guaranteed solution. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results, and I've seen it from my own eyes. And guys, it's not magic, but it's kind of close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated doctors, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees that it grows for life. So schedule your free consultation now. 629-348-HAIR is the number. If you qualify, you get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and they are the team I personally recommend. So don't wait. Check out the befores and afters online for yourself. The number is 629-348-HAIR or visit their website at advancedhair.com.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Rhett Bryan on deck in 15 minutes for the fourth and final hour of your Wednesday morning. So on 3's LSU site, the Bengal Tiger has the LSU head coach hotboard. Ramon, you know I love a hotboard. You know I do.
More than a charcuterie board, right?
If there's something that gets sports talk radio hosts out of bed in the morning,
yeah,
it's the ability to rank open jobs and talk about if a candidate would take a job. So there are two coaches in the state of Tennessee coaching college football programs that are on this list. One of them is obvious. It's Clark Lee, with what Clark has done at Vanderbilt. The other one, it's not Ryan Silverfield at Memphis. It's nobody on the Titans. It's not our good friend Jeff Ferris at Austin Peay, although he should be getting looks for FBS jobs.
He should.
It's Josh Heupel. LSU writer has Josh Heupel as a candidate for the LSU head coach position. His reasoning says, Heupel is one of the most innovative and exciting coaches in America, with higher-powered offenses every year and a 43-17 record at the helm of the Vols since taking over in 2021. The argument for Heupel to stay is asking how big a difference there is between what he's built at Tennessee and the potential at LSU. It would take massive investment for LSU to pull this off, but if this school and program want to show that they are still the class of the SEC, this is the type of move that stamps that. What do you think?
That right there. Does Jimmy Sexton run that website?
No, he does not. He does not.
I don't know. That's fascinating. They put Josh Heupel in that conversation, considering what he's done already.
That's why they put him in it.
I know, but LSU's got to be very careful in their approach to finding the next guy. LSU's almost had their reputation just shredded apart right now. Whoever they got to go get is a guy that to me is about LSU and not about themselves. I don't think Josh Heupel fits what they got going on there just schematically. When you look at what he's done at Tennessee, I don't know if LSU want to live that life. And what I mean by that is this. It will be problematic for them if the defense doesn't match up to what the offense is doing, the same as what the Vols got going on right now. I feel like LSU is more of a defensive-minded school when it comes down to the coaches that they want to go get as opposed to what the offense has in front of them.
CJ on YouTube says, as an LSU fan, no thanks.
I say no thanks for you. that matchup just doesn't. Buddy had to have been laughing. He must have hated us. He must have been in the crowd in 22 whenever the Vols went down there and smacked him on the behind.
Look,
it makes no sense to me.
I think it makes sense. I don't think it's going to happen, but I do think from the LSU perspective, it makes perfect sense. They are the type of job and the caliber of job where all you are going to look for is sitting Power 4 proven head coaches. I mean, your first two calls are to Nick Saban and Urban Meyer if you're Scott Woodward. Now, I mean, they may pick up the phone or they may tell you absolutely not, but and they will. Like neither of those two guys are going to be coaches there, but the profile of LSU is that you have as much resource or as many resources as you possibly could need. Now, the question I would ask if I'm Josh Heupel is, well, who's my AD? Because Scott Woodward has messed this thing up now a couple times. Is he the guy making the hire? You bringing a new guy? Because I got a lineman over here. I've got Donnie Plowman, Danny White. I got everything I need. I've got NIL. I've got a fan base. I've got a facility. Like, Tennessee checks a lot of boxes for coaches to be able to have as much success as they could possibly have. LSU checks more, but LSU is probably a top 3 job in all of college football. Honestly. I mean, I think that you're looking at Texas, Georgia, and LSU. If I was ranking best jobs. Now, that being said, the alignment of what Scott Woodward has done with that university, with the governor being involved, with the board situation, with all of that, makes that situation a little bit more iffy, especially considering that Josh already has a lot of that he needs. I'm looking more at a coach there that's going to take the LSU job who doesn't have resources to allow them to compete at the highest level right now. Clark Lee does check that box, but again, different coaches view jobs in different ways. Like, to Clark Lee, leading his alma mater and being a homegrown Nashville native and guy that can bring his program from nothing to a top 10 spot, that means something a lot different to him being a homegrown coach. I don't see Clark Lee leaving Vanderbilt anytime soon.
No.
I don't think there's any amount of money because I don't think it's about the money. Now, LSU is going to test that, and Clark Lee is going to get paid a lot more money to coach football in 2026, regardless of if it's in gold or yellow, because LSU's yellow. They're not gold. But I would be very surprised. I think it's more of a Lane Kiffin, Eli Drinkwitz. I mean, Marcus Freeman, you got to call.
You have
to start this process.
It's Marcus's job to lose. You mentioned Urban Meyer being a part of this. That's what, 10 years removed from coaching? No. What's that? About 7 years
Urban
removed?
Meyer?
Yeah.
From college football, you are looking more like 6-7 years. Yes. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just thinking in my head 6 to 7 years. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not a child.
You gotta do it.
No. I refuse.
But I just don't see that being the case. One hypo situation is this. Does he have to continue to dance with the guy that brought him, and that's Danny White too. There is that level of attachment.
Sure. It has been 7 years, by the way, so I wasn't just saying that to make the 6-7 comment. I was right. Anyway, I digress. I regress.
I personally think, I don't think Marcus Freeman can do what Brian Kelly did either. He can't leave Notre Dame and do the exact same pathway.
I don't think he will, but I think he could.
Yeah, he could, but I don't think he will.
If Marcus Freeman doesn't take the LSU job, he's at Notre Dame for a long time. This is one of the only jobs, I think, in the country that could maybe get Marcus Freeman to pick up the phone and have a conversation.
It's John Summerall name's been brought up a lot too.
See, I think that's
high on Summerall
because he's the top G5 name. He's built Tulane into a perennial power.
So we're looking for the new Cignetti?
Willie Fritz left. Cignetti, yeah. I think there's a comparison there. I mean, I just think that it's important to have led a program before. There is always a risk associated with getting a coordinator that's not done the job before. John Summerall's doing the job in the SEC footprint. He's been at SEC stops. He was at Ole Miss in Kentucky. He's coached at SEC places, but also, so he's got the G5 stamp and he has the SEC assistant stamp. Mm-hmm. Those are two important ones. You kind of got to have one or the other to get one of these jobs.
You got both.
You can't be a total outsider, and he checks both those boxes. I think it's tough for LSU boosters and LSU board and LSU people to admit that a coach down the street was better than yours. I think there's an element of swallowing your pride that is associated with getting a local coach to stay in state. Those moves don't happen that often for a reason.
You're right.
It would be like Tennessee hiring Memphis' coach. Like, how many people at Tennessee would like to admit that Memphis had a better coach than them?
That's fair.
Which, obviously, we're not living in that world. But, like, hypothetically, if Tennessee was looking for a coach, I don't think Ryan Silverfield would be a candidate. Like, to me, it's similar. It's not totally the same because New Orleans and Tulane is closer to Baton Rouge than Memphis is Tennessee. It's not the same situation. I know that. But it would be a little bit like that. And you just got to swallow your pride to do that. And college football boosters and money brokers don't like swallowing pride.
I see a comment that said if Clark Lee's smart, he takes the LSU job. What does that mean?
Yeah, like what is smart to him, though?
Yeah.
Like, smart to him could mean it might mean more to him to get Vandy to perennial 8 and 9 wins because it's his people and his place
his change
than it is to win 11 or 12 games at LSU. Like, success is measured differently. Leaving a lasting impact at your home means more to some people than having more tangible and national level success and notoriety at a different place for somewhere where you don't have an emotional attachment to.
I think Clark has that type of integrity.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I don't think Clark Lee's leaving. I honestly think that Josh Heupel makes more sense on this list than Clark Lee does.
Ever leaving.
Plus, again, is Jerry Kill coming with Clark? Oh. Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
Is Jerry Kill and Jerry Kill and Tim Beck coming? Because Clark Lee's offense and Clark Lee's program got a lot healthier and a lot better when he hired the right staff on offense.
That's true.
Can you do that at LSU? I don't know. You can at Vandy. That's your pathway to being successful here. Can you do the wing T there? Can you run that kind of offense? Can you be in that system? I think you maybe could. I mean, it's working here. Why wouldn't it work there? But there's a little bit more I need to see from Clark Lee and the overall sustainability of that program that I believe is going to happen, that he's still got to show us, I think, for jobs like this to be more realistic.
I would acknowledge this. If he wasn't from the city, then go to high school here, born here.
Then yes, we'd be having that conversation.
He'd be
100%.
Gone. I don't think now.
He's an NBA kid that went to Vandy and wants to build his alma mater up to a powerhouse, and he's done it.
Yep.
That means a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Rhett Bryan joins us, talking Titans and Chargers coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Window Nation. Will, man, here's the thing about it. Window Nation, they make some amazing windows, man. And if you want to keep that chilly air out of your home, or you got old stuck or cracked windows, Window Nation is the company, man. You can eliminate drafts once and for all with their top quality replacement windows from Window Nation. Best part about Window Nation is this. I know it can be a bother setting this type of stuff up, but their installation crews, they finish the job in one day or less, so you can get back to your daily routines with minimum interruptions.
And Ramon, this month, when you buy 2 windows from Window Nation, you'll get 2 for free. Head online, windownation.com. You also make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, no down payment, and no interest until 2027. It's a pretty big deal with the holidays coming up as well. Put an end to your window problems before this beautiful fall weather ends by calling Window Nation, 866-90-NATION. Or you can head online. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation at windownation.com.
9:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Happy Hump Day. The Titans are back on the practice field today as preparations begin for their Week 9 matchup against the LA Chargers at Nissan Stadium this Sunday. Interim head coach Mike McCoy will speak to the media ahead of practice around 11:50 this morning, and then quarterback Cam Ward will speak after practice around 2:20 this afternoon. In other NFL news, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson was listed as a full participant in Tuesday's practice and poised to make his return as the Ravens play the Dolphins Thursday night, saying he is, quote, 100% healthy. Also, the Broncos are reportedly not planning on placing cornerback Patrick Surtain II on injured reserve with a pectoral strain. The target return date for him would be Week 13 against the Commanders. And then the Bears are signing safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to their active roster after he visited the Bears yesterday. In baseball, the World Series all tied up at 2 games apiece as the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Dodgers last night 6-2 in L.A. Game 5 tonight again in L.A. at Dodger Stadium with first pitch at 7 o'clock on Fox. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour of Ramon and Will Wednesday's show. Every morning show is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Telling you what, I am addicted to the pumpkin caramelicious coffee at Scooter's. It's quick, it's easy. I order it on the app. I get there and say, I've got an order for Will. Don't say my name when you get there. I don't want you to take my order. Say your name. And you go through, it's ready in a couple of seconds. I usually either get one of the cake bites, the pumpkin with the cream cheese filling cake bites are terrific. I love the waffle breakfast sandwich with the sausage, egg, and cheese, a little bit of maple drizzle on top of it. My stomach is growling thinking about it. Go buy Scooters, Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster in the building. Justin Hawkins behind the glass. Rhett Bryan in studio joining us this morning. What's up, Rhett?
Top of the morning to you both.
How we doing?
Top of the top.
Good. It is a little bit of a monsoon kind of driving in this morning. Yeah. I'm glad I left the house when I did. But yeah, it's good for a Wednesday, other than the little drizzly, rainy weather.
Well, I enjoyed yesterday on social media seeing the clips of Cam Ward and Tajay Spears at, I believe, KIPP Nashville.
Yep.
Where they were
KIPP Elementary School.
In the community yesterday. I know you are very involved with all of these things on Tuesdays as well, with T-Rack, with the Titans, with the entire crew getting out in the community. Cam Ward knows how to get the people going.
He is a leader.
It's really,
he is 23, but don't mistake the age. He is a leader.
And Tajay too. Those two have got to be as good of a duo, as fun of a duo as you could have.
They're kids themselves.
Go out in the community.
Yeah. So I wasn't a part of that one.
Okay.
That would have been really cool to be a part of. I had other missions. We did a school show at Castle Heights Elementary in Lebanon yesterday. That was fantastic. And then yesterday afternoon, I hosted a panel of a couple of our great Titans cheerleaders, Hannah and Kenley, and then some players. And we did it at James Lawson High School. And my goodness, what an impressive campus, James.
It's amazing.
You did. And let me tell you, we did it in the theater.
Yeah.
Get this. We did it in the theater. I thought we were going to do a Broadway play there or something. This place is equipped, plug and play ready. You could do whatever you wanted in there. You could have a concert in there. You could do whatever. And padded auditorium chairs. Like, it's not the school auditorium I remember as a kid. Like,
no.
Old chewing gum in the floor and old hardback chair.
Yeah.
And none of that. In there, and this is wild. So I met your guy, Coach Lilly.
Yeah.
Coach Lilly.
Brad Lilly, head coach of James Lawson.
He's supposed to have sent you a selfie he and I took yesterday. I don't know if he ever had a chance to do it. But anyway,
Will change
he
numbers
will.
on him. He big
No,
time,
I didn't.
Will big time.
He's doing something special there because in just their third year of existence, their win last week gets them into the high school playoffs.
That's big time.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
High school playoffs. So anyway, we had 100 student athletes, football, and then the cheerleaders to talk to football players and cheerleaders, and it was done through EverFi. and it was a character playbook and mental awareness.
Nice.
And it was really good. I had Anthony Orji, linebacker for the Titans, former Vanderbilt star. Kendall Brooks, who was fantastic, and Jalen Harrell, along with the two ladies from the cheerleaders. And it was a really good afternoon to be able to talk to these young folks about, trying to help them set themselves up for success.
Absolutely.
Which they're already, clearly they're hard workers, because in year 3, and starting from nothing, and okay, yeah, you get rezoned and whatever. That's like starting up an expansion team. And in year 3, you're going to the playoffs. Whatever happens, happens. You made it to the playoffs because you worked your rear ends off.
No doubt.
But just to tell them it's okay to not be okay if that's what the case is.
Right.
And you need to talk to someone about it.
I agree.
Don't tamp it down. But I've done this 2 years in a row now, and it is a fantastic outreach and an opportunity to talk to high school student athletes just trying to navigate their way through school and life.
I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to reiterate that. Somebody that's half young kids, I got a 17 and a 13-year-old. Let your kids know it's okay to talk. Even their friends. Have their friends be able to divulge to you, because to your point, Rhett, they have so many N-word items that they're looking at that nothing ever comes out of them.
Yeah, that's right. Data in and not much data out.
Not much coming out of them, and everything they say with the world that we live in is all awesome and is good, and this person is excelling at life, and nothing is ever wrong, and failure sucks, and everybody wins.
Well, and
it's not reality.
That was the other part that we talked about, how social media is a huge influencer in that, because social media is not the real world. It's everybody's greatest hits.
Yes, it is.
And that sometimes life is raw emotion, and there are triumph and tragedy. And that's, again, I tried to point to all these guys on the stage going, they have the coolest job in the world, but they're people like you. They represent that name on their nameplate. Some of these guys have had, a parent that's been ill with cancer, or they're like you. They just are further along in life than you are right this second. And you're right, though. I feel like guys, the way we're wired is like, yeah, are you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. It's everybody.
It is.
That puts on the appearance that everything's okay. And that exercise we did yesterday, I spent about 2.5 hours there. This could not be said or repeated enough. That needs to be done everywhere that we can possibly do it. And I am glad to be any little small part of it, because it is super, super important.
And you coaches start asking about your kids too.
Sure.
Instead of just trying to win games.
And when I'm asking, are you good? Be ready to listen to whatever that is, not just in passing being courteous, going, yeah, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Whatever. And you just walking down the hallway passing each other.
I agree, Rhett.
Ask with the expectancy that you might not hear something pleasant, and you need to open your ears and listen a while.
I like to say ask. Either way.
That too.
You understood it.
I absolutely did.
Well, we're going to ask you some questions.
I think I think it's admirable the way the Titans have done that, and we get all of the media resources on Tuesdays of the different clips and different videos of players going to different places.
Yeah.
And you talk about how a still relatively new franchise in terms of generational loyalty, and the Titans still being, in the grand scheme of the NFL, a new team here in Nashville versus some that have been in their cities a lot longer. You talk about ways to build generational fandom and long-lasting loyalties, and you have kids growing up Titans fans, or if they move and go out of Nashville, you think about the core memories of hanging out with Cam Ward when you were a kid and things like that. Like, that is the way the Titans, still as a relatively new franchise, build that loyalty and have people that come back and, like me, want to have tickets and want to be involved in, and things with the team moving forward.
Well,
as adults.
Here's the thing, that is a very cool and important byproduct of those community outreach events and items. But that's not the whole reason why the Titans are doing it.
Absolutely. You're right.
That is a great byproduct, because we want as many Titans fans as we can get. We'll take all of you we can get. But making a difference as a part of that, as 100%. The vehicle.
That's the priority.
Because I can tell you, seriously, I heard students say, oh, my gosh, especially those young ladies that are cheer for James Lawson, I met a Titans cheerleader. I'm never going to wash my hand again. I would shook their hand. And that's the things that we take for granted. Like, they're people like we are, and I've always tried to treat them that way. But you have to understand proper context and perspective of this is maybe the first time they've ever seen a professional athlete. Right. And first impressions are huge. And all of those guys and gals that I had up on the stage with me, they were great. And provided some very sage advice, because that's what Coach Lilly, he said, hey, I want you to speak to them with in mind that they are minors and youth, but, you can push the envelope a little bit and be blunt about how the message is delivered. So.
Well said. That is a good thing. Win, serve, entertain, the motto for that reason for the Tennessee Titans organization. Well, coming up next, we will preview Titans and Chargers, what to watch for this weekend as L.A. comes to town. The Titans begin a long month of November at home in Nissan Stadium. That with Rhett Bryan coming up next.
Thank you.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone. Hour 4 on Wednesday means Rhett Bryan is in the building. Executive producer of Titans Radio. Titans and Chargers in a broadcast booth that can just be home for the month of November, right?
7. Home,
That's right.
Sweet home.
We've talked about this time to time this season. It's been a while since the Titans have had this long in the friendly confines.
10 years. Only the second time in Titans history. 2015, we had 4 in a row.
It's a good year.
So, yeah. And then a bye week next week. So, 5 weeks. Yeah, sign me up.
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely.
Please sign me up.
We've talked about November kind of being an on-ramp from the offseason. Mike McCoy spoke Monday about young players getting opportunities. Obviously, with the trade of Roger McCreary, you bring in some guys in that secondary room. You elevate into larger roles, guys like Marcus Harris, obviously Jalen Armour-Davis, who got that opportunity when Jarvis Brownlee was traded. But Rhett, despite the bad, despite the losing, despite the 1-7 record, you have young guys like Chimere Dike who are taking advantage of those new opportunities. You have Cedric Gray that was one of 3 tackles in Titans history to get 50 tackles in a 4-game span, joining Brad Castle and Keith Bullock.
How about that?
Pretty good neighborhood to be in. I'm not trying to sugarcoat things. I'm not trying to sunshine pump in a time where things aren't good. I'm looking ahead to where we could find what that on-ramp could look like, Rhett. Other players that could find themselves in larger roles and hopefully take advantage of those opportunities.
Well, let's go a step further because I just mentioned to you guys in segment 1 about the event I did yesterday at James Lawson High School. And I had a chance to catch up with Jalen Harrell. Jalen Harrell's turned out to be quite a nice special teams player who, if he continues to do that, you're starting to see him worked in to get opportunities to play on defense.
Especially without Femi and Allier.
Correct. And this is exactly what you're, not just the drafted, but he's a guy that's in year 2 who was a day 3 pick. And because it was weird, I was talking to him after the event. I was like, hey, man, he goes, man, I ain't seen you all year in there. Where you been? I'm like, well, had a lot of things change in the offseason. I said, I just haven't had a chance to get in the locker room. I said, I'd love to visit with you guys and catch up and say hello. But I told him, I said, you're going to get a hand on one of those punts, block that thing at some point.
Honestly.
But I said, I see you. I know you're working.
Right.
And that's another prime example. It's not just this year's draftees. There's a lot of, I mean, you mentioned, Cedric Gray, and he was in that draft class with Jalen Harrell. But, and what Coach Mack has tried to tell us all, and he's correct, is this team is going to continue to turn over. It's going to get younger and younger. And this is just kind of where this thing is right now. And I'm just thankful that the football staff, the higher-ups, and Mike Borgonzi have done a really good job with a draft class that is, because they knew these guys were going to have to come in and contribute. And some of them they weren't even expecting to have to contribute, but because of injuries and things, here they are. But, yeah, this is what this is right now. And by the way, just talking to players off the record, off mic, not in a locker room setting, they're in a good space. They're not, woe is me. Like, does it suck? They're 1-7. Sure, absolutely. They're still working. They just go to work.
Yeah.
They put their head down and go to work. And that's what, I didn't hear any disparity, and I won't. Like, these guys are good. They're in a good spot. They're just not in a good spot in the win-loss column.
Rhett, when you look at the L.A. Chargers coming to town this upcoming weekend, 3 wins to start the season against Kansas City in Brazil, at Las Vegas and Denver. Then they lose to the Giants and the Commanders. They beat the Dolphins. They lose to Indy, and then they drubbed Minnesota. The offensive line has been an issue for them, but not because of who's on the team, but because of who's been hurt. They lose Rashawn Slater in preseason. Joe Alt has played in one of their 3 losses, or one of their losses so far this season. They were down Rashawn Slater, Trey Pipkins, and Joe Alt at one point, down to their 4th and 5th tackles.
Well, and let's go a step further. In that Thursday night game last week against the Vikings, right guard Mekhi Becton left with a knee injury, and so Foster Sorrell had to replace him. They got Bobby Hart at right tackle. I mean, they still don't have their starting 5.
They don't
in this. But getting Joe Alt back was a big deal. And we're going to go through all of these numbers and things, but it's amazing what Justin Herbert is doing, and in particular to help the run game, because you talk about banged up.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Kimani Vidal, who is doing a fantastic job. That dude's had 200-yard rushing games in the past 3 weeks.
He's been on.
He's been on.
Yeah, he's
absolutely.
Been on.
And he was, they're much like the Titans, they're getting help from some day 2 and day 3 draft selections of the last couple of years to get this thing going. But Justin Herbert in that game last week against the Vikings, he had 7 for 62 yards on the ground. He's averaging over right at 6.5 yards per carry. And it's interesting to me because they've had obviously some injuries on defense, and this offense has kind of helped them out in this, much like we have seen with the Colts last week and what they've been doing. But that Chargers offense is averaging 123 yards per game rushing, not shabby at all.
Right.
But Justin Herbert's got the wheels to kind of help with that because Najee Harris, their big free agent, tore his Achilles, out for the year. Omarion Hampton still hasn't had the return to play protocol. I think he'll be eligible to open that up next week. And he's been on IR for the last 3.5 weeks. And Hassan Haskins has dealt with a hamstring. He was out last week. So, I mean, they've been doing it with some things. Now, when you're talking about Herbert, 68% completion percentage.
Yep.
16 touchdowns to 7 picks, over 2,000 yards, and he has a quartet of help. Keenan Allen, who started and played the bulk of his career there, I think the guy may be a future gold jacket. Like, he's really good, and
he's stacking it.
Year 13, he's still getting 10 yards a catch. And then Ladd McConkey has led the team in targets the last 3 games. He had 10 targets last week, 6 for 88 and a score. And Quentin Johnston, who had a slow start to his career, it's him. That's what they drafted, and he's proven it.
5 touchdowns on the season.
Correct. And so those 3 have a 60+% catch rate. So 6 out of 10 times, it's a catch. The other one I'm going to mention, a day 3 pick in this year's draft, is Oronde Gadsden II.
He is cooking.
And, everybody knows that name. I saw his dad covered, games that his dad played in against the Titans a few times. You're talking about a guy from Syracuse, and he was, 5th or 6th round?
5th round pick. You're right.
That dude is carving it up. Now, he is a mismatch problem. That is the issue. Against safeties in his last 2 games, 8 for 140 against safety looks. And he's a huge target for Herbert. He's 6'5", 243, 82-inch wingspan.
Oof.
And, the young man is starting to cook. So there's the quartet I'm talking about on offense that roll with Justin Herbert. The defense is very interesting to me because they finally got back Khalil Mack last week after he'd been on injured reserve for several weeks. The Chargers defense in weeks 5 through 7 had allowed 27 explosive plays. 27. Last week, 1 play, 17 yards is all they allowed against the Vikings.
Goodness.
They sacked Carson Wentz 5 times.
Put him on IR.
Well, and
yes, they did. The
thing is, from what I understand, he injured that shoulder a couple weeks before when they were overseas playing in London.
That's correct.
But they re-aggravated it and finished it. And so now he's having surgery and is on the shelf. But that group has had its challenges and issues. The thing with them, Tuli Pelotu is the machine up front. He's got 6 quarterback sacks, 35 quarterback pressures. the second-year big guy from Alabama, Justin Boygby, he had 2 quarterback sacks the other night, doubled up his season total of 4. Deion Henley from Washington State, he's the tackling machine in the second level, 52 tackles, leads their team.
He had a pick 6 or interception that was called back last
Yep.
week, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's been Johnny on the spot for
Now,
them.
where they have current injury issues is in the secondary. So Derwin James, their all-world star safety, tweaked an ankle in the first or second play of that game last week and did not return. Tony Jefferson's dealing with a hamstring. So another day 3 pick from Clemson, R.J. Mickens, he had a pick last week. Yeah. They're having to have some guys step up in unlikely places. But this is an efficient offense. And, Justin Herbert's where it starts. And you just look at their team stats. They're in top 5 in a lot of stuff. Top 5 in yards per game, rushing yards per play, passing yards per game. Now, they've had the turnover problems. They're -3 in giveaway takeaway. Their defense is top 10 in yards allowed, top 10 in passing yards per game and play. Yard differential per game, they're number 2 in the league, 81 yards difference. Now, that's the stuff where you start looking at it goes beyond the box score of how they won ball games.
It's not a glaring weakness.
So, Jim Harbaugh's got them playing, and you're right. They started out 3-0, and then they went into a valley and lost 3 out of their next 4, and looks like they got a little get-well game against the Vikings last week, and it'll be another challenge for these guys Sunday.
They lost to teams they shouldn't have, I guess, on paper, with considering who their quarterback is. Like losing to the Giants, unexpected. The Commanders shouldn't have happened. Colts, I guess they're pretty hot right now, though, too.
Colts blew them out.
Yeah, Colts let them have it.
In their building, too.
They pulled the big belt out.
That's where a bunch of those 27X plays came from, was that one game.
This matchup could play into, I guess, the Titans' style of game that they want to play. Jim Harbaugh's teams are going to be downhill, run the football. That's why I feel like there's an opportunity to slow it down where you don't feel like offensively it needs to be rushed. Now, the difference is they will at some point, the Chargers throw the ball down the field and they connect and they make plays. Keeping this game close and on the ground, I think, should play in favor to the Titans to keep it close and make it interesting this upcoming weekend, right? The way I'm seeing this one.
Yeah, because...
And that's what you want, is to make it interesting.
Well, we just talked about the woes that they have injury-wise in the run game. And so you got to be able to bottle up Herbert when he scrambles.
Yep.
And then Kamani Vidal has done a fantastic job. He had 12 carries for, 93 yards in the second half of that game, but that was after the score was so far separated last week. But, if you can get them into your kind of game, you might have an advantage there, because we talked about the numbers there with those big receiver options and tight end that they have. Keenan Allen is just, and Keenan Allen, he got a whole lot more snaps, reps, and opportunities, even whether he's single or double team, because if you remember all those years ago, Mike Williams was brought in around the same time, and Mike Williams from Clemson could not stay available and healthy. And so he became kind of the guy in this. And, Ladd McConkey they're going to try to find him. I told you, he's led the team in targets the last 3 weeks. And then the rook, Oronde Gadsden II, he's the big target they can, try to get it his way.
It's crazy. His dad is 6'2". How did he birth a 6'5" kid?
That is an excellent question.
Brother.
Excellent question.
Man, birthed a monster out here, man.
Yeah, I think, and I like doing the breakdowns like this with you, Rhett, every week, because A, obviously it previews the upcoming game. I think B, when you look at a team like LA and you look at how legitimate rosters are built, it is kind of a lesson. Maybe lesson's the wrong word. It's potential models of how the Titans can rebuild this thing in different ways. There's not just one way to build a competitive roster in the NFL. And I think when you look at LA, I see a lot of the same things we saw when we previewed Denver. They have built this thing successfully inside out. They have been willing to take offensive linemen, maybe in spots where they aren't of the best value, but to send a message, to make a point, to build a foundation for these skill players to have success. Obviously, having Justin Herbert, they got the most important part of it right. They got quarterback right. And
That's what it takes, Will.
He is as physically gifted as any quarterback of the National Football League. And we think that Cam Ward has potential because he is as physically gifted as a lot of young quarterbacks in the National Football League. But they've built it inside out, and even down a couple of tackles and even down to a couple of backups of that offensive line, the way Jim Harbaugh teams are built allows you to have a little bit of a margin for error there.
To your point, if you look at their depth chart, one of their draft picks from a couple of years ago from Georgia, Jamari Salyer, he's a backup at guard.
Wow.
But yeah, they've invested a lot in that to be able to operate Jim Harbaugh's offense in this. And yeah, it shows because we just talked about all the injury things they've had to try to work around, and clearly getting your stud tackle Joe Alt back certainly helps your quarterback and everybody involved in that. But again, you've still got some stuff on the right side that's, not 100%. Nobody's 100% this time of the year anyway.
Sure.
But yeah, it is. You bring up a valid point. In some of these examples of some opponents we've seen, there are different approaches and ways in the roster construction, and how the Titans can do it. I have full faith that Mike Borgonzi has a plan and is executing that plan, just based merely on how well the draft class has done.
Yeah.
And it isn't just, top pick here and there. It's day 3, which, again, any general manager worth his salt finds contributors in rounds 4 through 7. And because you see some of the really good teams.
The top picks.
You're not going to hit on every pick.
Nope.
There's not an exact science to it. But if you can get some contributors from day 3, that's how you do this thing. Because when you find the quarterback and you have to pay the quarterback like they're paying Justin Herbert, you have to have other guys who are the smaller role players or the finishing out of the roster. I'm not saying it correctly, but you know what I'm trying to say.
100%. And I think, too, you look at this team, and we talked about this yesterday. It does take time, but to your point, it has to be built through the draft. You can't just go spend all your free agency money every year and build something that's sustainable. You are looking at an offensive line that is supplemented with Mekhi Becton to the foundation of Zion Johnson and Joe Alt on the left side. That's a homegrown offensive line at the 2 of your most important positions at left guard and left tackle.
Yeah.
It's Keenan Allen, who I get is kind of homegrown, and they kind of got him back again. But 13th season, he leads them in receiving, 17th in the league with 479 yards and 4 touchdowns. Lad McConkey, Aronde Gadsden, Kamani Vidal, Omarion Hampton, Justin Herbert. They have drafted pretty well, even when quarterback wasn't consistent. It is the thing that you just got to grit your teeth through and hit on these picks.
Well, the other thing you mentioned there that made me think about this, people are starting to document that the Titans will be the team that will have the most to spend in free agency, and per the salary cap and the CBA, you have to spend somewhere up in the 90th percentile of that for 4 straight seasons. So they're going to have to do some shopping. I think that's the part that's going to be interesting to see what Mike Borgonzi and staff does with his first full trip around the sun as a general manager of the Tennessee Titans. I will find that as interesting as what the draft class ends up looking like in 2026, because you do have to have those supplemental things, and you do have to spend the money. So you're going to have dudes come in here from somewhere else, and who are they, and how do they fit, and what are the parameters of making them fit?
He is Rhett Bryan, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. here on the show. Titans and Chargers back from Booth 7 inside Nissan Stadium on Sunday afternoon. We're looking forward to it.
That'll be great.
Yes, sir.
Love it. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
Thanks.
Appreciate it as always. Coming up, there is a player that is going from a retirement home back to the NFL at the ripe age of 41. We'll tell you who he is next. Wrapping up the show on Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Buck Rising has you covered. Coming up next, tomorrow morning on the program, Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith previews Tennessee, Oklahoma. Titans radio analyst Coach Dave McGinnis on Titans and Chargers. And Thursday, 3 picks for your football weekend.
How'd I do last week, man?
I think you did pretty well.
2-1?
We were all 2-1.
Dog, trying to trust these expert bettors out here. I knew I should have gone with Lane.
I mean, our listeners are trusting you as an expert bettor.
But look, if
You
they
keep going
did trust
2-1?
me without doing a parlay, they won money. I'm 2-1. I'm above 500 now in our overall bets.
You are 14-13. Justin is 16-11. I am also participating. The Chicago Bears have a tight end by the name of Mercedes Lewis. They don't have him now, but he was a member of the 2006 draft class. Ramon, he is 41 years old.
Salute that man.
13 minutes ago, Tom Pelissero reports he is signing with the Broncos practice squad.
What? At 41, he can go to the practice squad?
41 years old, Mercedes Lewis is returning for his 20th NFL season as the lone active member of the 2006 draft class. Yes, that is the draft class where the Titans drafted Vince Young.
I don't get it.
His fellow draft mates include Mario Williams, Reggie Bush, Vince Young, Matt Leinart. I feel like I'm just describing the college football crew on Big Noon Kickoff on Fox. Jay Cutler, who's been in the news recently. Devin Hester, Vernon Davis, Brandon Marshall, A.J. Hawk, the guy that never talks on McAfee. Andrew Whitworth, he does talk on Prime.
Shout out to Whitworth.
D'Amico Ryans is the head coach of the Houston Texans. Maurice Jones-Drew is the analyst for Rams Radio and on NFL Network. Jari Evans.
Jari Evans, too?
Yeah, Mercedes Lewis back at it. 41 years old. Ramon, how does that make you feel as a 39-year-old?
I feel like a failure at this point.
No. I wasn't trying to set you up for that.
No.
You can always go back.
Hell no. I got my severance check. I'm good now.
The amount of Titans fans that have called in and asked for Ramon to not only coach, but also play for the Titans.
Man, they don't want that. I'll be too hard on y'all out here. I just... Mercedes, I know he got enough bread. I know he does. He's got enough. For guys like him,
probably has a Mercedes.
I've probably got a deal with them now. You're daggone right, I would. That's the first car I would have bought would be a Mercedes. I'd have spent my whole check on one if I was him, just to show, I'm Mercedes driving a Mercedes. And my girlfriend is also named Mercedes. But what I'm getting at is this. He's got clearly a passion for it. Me personally, I look at it and say just at some point hang it up. But if they keep calling you, it's just like Brandon Graham, I guess, also for the Philly. Brandon Graham has unretired after having a huge ceremony this past summer on his retirement from the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to be real with you. After seeing what he got paid to actually come back for the second half of the season, I think he's getting like $2 million to role play. It ain't a better profession in the world. Okay, I don't even think some Fortune 500 CEOs get that as a base. Now, they get it more in bonuses. I know that much. They get $30 million in bonuses. But having a $2 million salary to basically babysit guys, sign me up for, especially if I'm a defensive player. My difference is this. The position I play is an every down play.
Here we go.
Mercedes Lewis can play 15 snaps a game.
He can be in
15 snaps a game. Sub packages. Just block. The same things go for Brandon Graham, too. Like, he can play, 25 snaps a game, get $2.5 million. Listen, if a team X call me right now and say, Ramon, man, we just need you. We hear you're a great motivator and glue guy. Come on in here. I'm leaving.
We saw your dancing video with Mike Keith in the booth in Lexington and thought that's a vibes guy we need on our sideline.
Absolutely. I'm going to get him right. I promise you that. I'm going to hold him to a high standard. For $2 million? Heck yeah, sign me up for it. That's the reason I would say. It's fun in the locker room. It's a good time. And there is absolutely a calling for dudes like that.
So in the year 2025, 19 years ago, Mercedes Lewis was drafted. You've probably got some players who were two.
I remember seeing him
who would
on
be
the
teammates.
Field.
Yeah, same.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, right. You played against this man.
Played against this guy numerous times.
There are players who are 2 or 3 on his roster. See, this is where you as an organization want to be.
Yeah, it is.
When you're signing 41-year-olds, it means that you got something to sell that 41-year-olds want to buy. That is the sign that you have arrived. That is the validation that I needed earlier this morning when I said that the Broncos are a team in the NFL that are peaking at the right time. There's no better validation of that than a 41-year-old wanting to ring chase with you.
Tell it.
Because Mercedes Lewis wouldn't sign up for a 1 or 2 win team. He would sign up to play for a 6-win team. What's that noise?
What the hell you got going on back there, J-Hawk?
What's happening?
I found a Nashville SC megaphone because this weekend, volume up, baby.
Full volume is the slogan
I
for
heard
NSC this weekend against
siren noise.
Yeah, I thought something had messed up.
I thought it was you over there with some
ahead,
swishy
play it.
pants.
Yeah, there you go. Do you see the video of Tempo the Coyote bringing this
Fire
in
him.
for Buck and Bert and Lucas yesterday?
No, they did what?
Yes.
Buck has some. Well, Buck hates everything
He
that's
hates
good and
mascots.
fun in the world, and so Tempo the Coyote came in yesterday. Bert was rightfully very excited.
Should be.
Tempo, a visit. You don't get a visit from a coyote every day. So Tempo shows up with a megaphone. He's giving Buck a gift, and Buck's immediate reaction is, "Well, just keep him in there. Why do you what? Keep him in there with him. Why does he need to be in here?"
Bert's list of things he'd rather be doing other than watching baseball was phenomenal, too. I cracked up real good at that one, Bert, just so you know.
I had baseball on the Fun Belt on my multi-view last night.
Did you? I watched the game. It was good.
My JMU Dukes. Listen, Buck is not this much of a curmudgeon. Buck is playing a character. Buck walks in here. He's very polite. He's very kind. He's very nice. The mic turns on. All of a sudden, Buck wants to hate sunshine and puppies and things that are good. Like, don't let Buck fool you. He's still a softie at heart. He is. He's just playing a character. But
He's good at it.
why do we got to play the character to Tempo? Tempo's on our side. Tempo's a good guy.
It is.
I don't understand. Be better, Buck.
He will be.
We love Tempo.
We do love Tempo.
I love Tempo.
I'd love Nashville SC to get a W Saturday night. I think Tempo would like that as well.
Are we speaking about like the actual like movement tempo, or we're speaking about a person tempo?
The Coyote.
Oh,
That's the mascot's name.
That's his name?
I'll show you the video after
We're
the show.
naming mascots now?
Yeah. Back at it
What
tomorrow
mascots
morning.
do you know without a name?
Bright and early 6 a.m. Where you get us.
Oh, no.
Talk to you tomorrow morning. 104.5 The Zone.
Remember, good people, your Twitter fingers and your mic. It's always hot, baby.